Hey everybody, welcome to the Jim Masters Show live. Good to see you all around the world, our international audience. It's nice to see all their smiley faces. Welcome to our entertainment lifestyle talk show series that we started a long time ago as a way to connect, but also to inspire and entertain, educate, inform. That's what we do every single day here on the Jim Masters Show live. I'm your host, Jim Masters. This is a very positive talk show series where we focus on entertainment. We also focus on life. We have guests from television, film, Broadway, music, Hollywood, sports, comedy, inspiration, health and wellness, science, culinary arts, you name it. And this is bringing back the lost art of conversation like the old school talk shows used to do. Remember some of the talk shows, the Johnny Carsons, Mike Douglas, Dick Cavett, David Susskind, Steve Allen, all of the real legendary hosts and presenters. But we sprinkle in that old school warmth and conversational style on the Jim Masters Show Live, coupled with a modern twist and modern vibe of today. So we welcome you. It's good to see you. We are generally here 7 days a week, live, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, well over 300 consecutive series episodes here on our broadcast series, our Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series. And we were off yesterday because I was very busy with television projects. And so we were off yesterday, but it's nice to see you again today. We've got an amazing array of guests coming up all week long. Want to let you know, legendary comedian Judy Tenuta, yes, is going to be with us on Monday, the 15th of March. She's a Hollywood legend as well. We're so excited to have her here. We're going to have a lot of laughs. Tonight, our very special guest is the extraordinary, renowned actress and screenwriter, producer, director, Angelica Page. She is also the daughter of Hollywood legends Rip Torn and Geraldine Page. We're so honored to have her here, live and direct from Los Angeles, California. First, we toast to all of you watching all around the world. Again, this is a warm and inviting place, a cool place for some cool vibes and positivity on our Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series. Everybody's welcome. Doesn't matter your zip code, income level, political views, religious views, if any, none of that. It's a place to come to be inspired, to have a good time. If you're not having a good day, this is the place to get perked up and get a smile on your face with some of our famous levity, which again happened when I said love and levity a little too fast in the summertime. So you're going to see that word a lot. Our viewers call themselves the Levities. They're part of our Levity squad. They call me Mr. Levity. They call this our studio Levity Hall. They welcome all our guests with levity as well. And we welcome you. Sip, sip. Very nice. Let's say hello to some of our terrific viewers here, our Levities, and then we welcome our very special guest who's joining us again from California. Good evening, Mr. Levity, and good evening, Levities. Linda Odell in Florida. Good to see you as well. Pamela Given is here. Welcome, Pamela. Good evening, everyone, and it's nice to see you, Pamela, as well. Love having you here on our show. It's a wonderful day, beautiful weather today, really, really beautiful weather. Willie is watching. She's watching in the Netherlands. Nice to see you, Willie. Welcome to our show. Pleasure to have you here as well. And so many wonderful folks. Ann Wozniak is here. Welcome, Angelica from sunny Florida. Kathleen Walker. Hi, Jim. Hope you had a good day. Hi, everyone. Kathleen in New York City. Good to see you as well. Cheers from Crystal Nolan in Connecticut. She says, I love your shirt and hat, Jim. Thank you very much, Crystal. I appreciate that. Love your hat, Mr. Levity. Looking handsome tonight. Thank you. Linda, appreciate that as well. Amy is here. Hello, all. Good to see you, Amy. June Rachelson Osper, our dear friend. Hi, all. Good to see you in New York City. June as well. Always a pleasure to have you here. Juanita is here from South Africa, one of our regular Levities. Hello, Jim and Levity Squad from Juanita. Good to see you, Juanita. Merlin in Canada is here as well. Welcome from Canada. Hello, Jim and all Levities. We love having you here as well. Crystal Nolan says, hi, Jim and everyone. Happy Tuesday. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Looking forward to an exciting show with inspiring conversation and levity. Absolutely. And says, hello, Jim and Levity friends. Hope everyone had a wonderful day. We sure are still having a wonderful day as well. It's really fantastic to see everybody here. Mary Bishop in Florida. Hello, Jim and Levity friends. And it's so cool to have all of you here. And of course, we welcome you. And we watching for the first time, we invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the notification bell so you don't miss any of the amazing content we have. Not only our incredible Jim Masters Show live entertainment lifestyle talk show series, but also our inspiring video visual, verbal, video inspiration series, Masters Mantras. Matter of fact, we just uploaded a new, beautiful, peaceful, oceanic sunset scene from the coast today. If you didn't see that Masters Mantra, very special guest here on the show today as well. Again, the renowned screenwriter, producer, director, actress, Angelica Page. She comes from a legendary background. She's also carved out an extraordinary career of her own. She's going to join me in just a moment as a guest. But first, here's a wonderful clip looking at her incredible experience, her career, and her life. And then we'll be back with Angelica Page.
My name is Angelica Page. I'm an actress who has worked in the industry for 30 years. And while I really enjoy television and film, theater is my true love. The first play I starred in on Broadway was Sideman by Warren Leight, which won the Tony Award for Best Play. During my career, I've had the great good fortune to play spectacular women in history. Madame Curie, Sylvia Plath, Emily Dickinson, Lana Turner. Now, the most challenging and interesting role to date, my own mother, Geraldine Page.
But the thing that your mother said to me was she'd like you to write it. You're the one that understands me. You know, you're the one that knew me. You're the one that was there. What'd you say?
So honored to welcome her to the show. And Turning Page is an extraordinary solo play and show that she created honoring her mother's life. Really extraordinary, critically acclaimed. And again, you've seen her on television, even As the World Turns as Kit Harding. Law and Order, films, theater, extraordinary. She's talented. She's beautiful inside and out, and she's just extraordinary. And so honored to have her here on the Jim Master Show Live as my special guest, the one and only Angelica Page. Angelica, welcome to the show. We toast you and welcome you, and nice to have you with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to get out of the house.
However you can get out of the house, even virtual, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm just going to dress up, some sparkles.
You look amazing. You look absolutely amazing. Thanks for getting all dressed up for our show. And we really,
for the opportunity.
It's my pleasure, my pleasure. Welcome, Angelica, from Kathleen Walker in New York.
Hi, Kathleen.
And Juanita in South Africa says, welcome to the show, Angelica. Nice to have you here. Pamela Given. And here's all that levity I was telling you about. You're going to have all that levity coming your way.
Lovely.
Yeah. Pamela says, hello, Angelica. Marsha Lyon in Massachusetts. Good evening, Jim and all levities. The newest levity, Angelica Page. Crystal Nolan says, hi, Angelica. Welcome to Levity Hall. And fantastic. I love this. It's nice to have all these great comments coming in. And Pamela is watching from Northern Ireland. And she's new to our channel, so we welcome her.
Welcome.
So how have you been? Like you mentioned, and of course, June Aspa. Hi, Angelica. Good to see you as well.
Hi, June. Thank you for putting us in touch.
We love our June. How have you been through all the craziness of everything that's going on, and just the craziness of Homebound and theaters?
Well,
have you stayed creative and connected with everybody?
Yeah. I'm in a wonderful relationship with a wonderful husband, so that helps. So I haven't been too lonely. And we're really blessed with a beautiful home in Los Angeles that has a lot of indoor-outdoor space and great weather. So, we've been able to kind of not feel too enclosed, which is really helpful, but super careful, double masking. We have a small bubble of friends that we see once a month. We all get tested. We get tested, my husband and I, once a week. But they get tested beforehand and have small gatherings and stuff. But it's been, it's been really challenging. I'm just, I have to be honest that it's been a lot harder, I think, on many more people just because of our opportunity to have indoor-outdoor space. So, I can only imagine. My daughter lives also in New York, and I have a lot of friends in New York, and it's been it's been tough to be separated. I haven't seen anybody in my family except for my husband since COVID hit, and have not left California. So,
is the family scattered all around the country?
a lot on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Mostly on the East Coast.
Yeah.
We're finally taking a trip at the end of this month, I think. But it'll be the first time I've been on a plane since last year.
That's about what it is for us too. We didn't get to see a lot of the relatives during the course of the holidays because of the fact that the planes weren't flying and everybody was trying to, be safe and cautious, and we all still are. But
I've actually been
hopefully,
surprised that there's been as many flights as there have been. You know what I mean? That the airlines,
yes,
but that's not my department, so I have not much to say about it, except not get on a flight if I don't have to.
yeah.
But I have been working on writing something, so I wasn't planning to perform live this last year myself, so that didn't hamper anything work-wise for me.
Which is really good. It just worked out that way, right?
Things to keep ourselves busy with.
Yeah. So let's talk about, again, I mentioned in the introduction, we had that wonderful video too about your background growing up and having the influences of, Hollywood royalty, of course, your mother Geraldine, your father, of course, Rip Torn as well. What was that like for you? Did you absorb a lot of their the essence of who they are and the way they went about doing different things in terms of the acting prowess and the personality traits, things of that nature? And what were some of the other sources of inspiration along for you growing up?
Well, my mother always said that she really believed in learning through osmosis. And so she would take me to the actor's studio when I was a little girl and put me up in the balcony and give me a coloring book and tell me that I was going to work on osmosis. And I was like, what does that mean? There goes my earring. But I also agree that osmosis is an amazing way to work. I did definitely absorb a lot from both my parents. My father got really riled up when I finally decided I wanted to be an actress. Someone said, something about that I hadn't been trained at that point because I was offered a play before I had even gone to school, I actually turned it down because I didn't believe I had enough training. But my father was like, if someone grows up in a bakery, they know how to bake a cake, basically. So that was where my dad stood. I did absorb quite a bit from both of them, and I got to know them both very, very well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You wouldn't happen to have any headphones, do you? Because we're getting a lot of feedback.
Yeah. I would have to go grab them.
Yeah, that's okay. I can chat with the audience. Yeah, they're getting a lot of feedback, they're saying. Okay, gang, so she's going to get the headphones. What you're hearing when you hear those voices is my voice coming out of her speakers, going into her microphone and feeding back. So when the guest wears the headphones, that cancels that echo that you're hearing right now. So she's going to grab those headphones, so that will disappear. So there's your empty chair shot, gang. Angelica Page. You guys, we have famous empty chairs. There you go. You guys love to see the guests' chairs. That's a fancy schmancy chair, isn't it? That is really cool. Can't tell you how many times we have these incredible chair shots where the guest runs out to get a drink or whatever it may be. But yes, empty chair sighting. It's a cool chair, isn't it? It's comfy. So she's getting the that. Love the color. Great chair. It almost looks like I'm talking to Cookie Monster from Sesame Street, doesn't it? The chair looks like Cookie Monster. Yeah, I would say the chair looks like Cookie Monster from Sesame Street. Yep, there's the empty chair. She's running to scramble to get the headphones because you have to wear the headphones.
I don't know about these. These are new ones. The other ones aren't working.
They love your chair.
An adventure together.
They're all commenting about your chair. They love the chair.
Oh, thanks.
It's fluffy and soft, and
It's 2 pieces.
Ah, there you go.
This is just a furry piece, yeah.
It said
I
best
like fur and
friend.
sparkles. Fur and sparkles, so I can pretend I'm still on Broadway.
Yeah.
Let me see. I'm going to plug this in and see if it works.
Okay.
I have to go into the Bluetooth too also.
You check out the Bluetooth as well.
I've never used these before. These belong to my stepson. Let's see. That's not the one. Let's see.
Pamela in Ireland says lovely color for the chair.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites. I have another piece over here. If you can see my.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Oh, there it is. Can you see it? It's like a chaise. See, and then some pillows.
That's nice.
One of my favorite colors. Between the we get a lot of nice color in this house.
Yeah.
I don't know if these are going to work.
Now, I think they might. Once you have them plugged in, then that.
I know they are plugged in, but I don't see. We turn the Bluetooth on and off.
And see if it sort of takes care of that. Seems to have reduced a little bit.
I turn the air conditioner off. That might help too. I don't know. How's that? Is it a little bit better?
So what it does is, so you're good when you speak, but when I speak, the sound comes out of your speaker and goes into your microphone.
Let me try one more thing. I'll be right back.
Okay. You guys are loving the chair anyway, so there's your shot. And there's a chaise lounge in her home. Did you see the chaise lounge as well? That was a bonus.
No can do. Let's see what else we can do. It's not, so the Bluetooth isn't finding it. Is there a way for me to get on to talk with you from my phone? Because I have headphones for that.
Actually, you can. Yes, just go in through the same link. You know, that link we sent you, that private access guest link.
Okay.
Go into that through your phone, and I'll see you pop up in the studio.
Okay, good. I'll be right back.
I'll chat with the audience. We'll do a host chat. We'll build it up. Good things come to those who wait.
Exactly. And we work together.
Absolutely.
All right. So I'm going to leave studio, and I'm going to call you back.
You will leave the studio, and George Burns and I will wait for you.
Okay. All right.
All right. Okay, so now you notice that you don't hear that feedback. You don't hear that double sound. If the guest doesn't wear the headphones, what happens is, and that's why I wear headphones too. If the guest doesn't wear headphones, and sometimes Bluetooth is a little funky. A lot of people, when they use their Bluetooth, whether it's on this show or anywhere else, Bluetooth can be funky. But if they don't wear the headphones, what you're hearing when you hear that double sound, you're hearing my voice coming out of her computer speakers and then going into her microphone. So she's hearing me talk because she doesn't have the headphones on. And then the sound comes out of her speakers and goes into her microphone, which is the sound we need. And then that shoots back at all of us. So when she speaks, fine. But when I'm speaking or there's sound coming out of her speakers, that's what's coming out of her speakers. That's what's feeding into her microphone. And that's when you hear that echoey double effect. So you're hearing me, but then you're also hearing a second version of me coming out of her speakers. So Angelica Page, that was just a little tease. That was the appetizer, folks. You got a chance really early to see her chair. Usually we don't see the guests' chairs until the latter part of the show when they need to grab a glass of water or go get something that they want to show us on camera, some surprise thing they want to show us, or they grab their dog or their cat or their child. So good to see everybody. And let's say hello while we're here. Let's have a little host chat. And okay, you guys. One of the attendees go get her glasses. The first thing pops in my head, empty chair alert. So you had an empty chair alert as well. And you guys are saying empty chair, lovely color. I love that. the way they spell color in Europe and England and Ireland with the U. Pamela Given in Northern Ireland. How are you doing, Pamela? It's kind of late. It's about what 25 after midnight where you are in Northern Ireland, but it's so wonderful to have you here. Do I see an empty chair? Yes. You saw her very fluffy empty chair. And then if you saw the pan, she panned her camera over and you saw a chaise lounge that was of the same fabric, which was kind of nice as well. So what do you guys want to chat about while we wait for our very special guest? Technology. Yeah. Just the headphones. The headphones take care of it. You gotta have those headphones on. It's very, very important to have the headphones on because again, it cuts out that double sound, that feedback. Juanita, of course, we're hearing her speakers. Technology is so demanding. I know you're right. You're right. Let's see if we missed any comments earlier from anybody. You guys are laughing about the chair. Amy says, best chair yet. You remember the guest we had that not only had the chair, but she had a full-length brown leather couch with a fireplace. Can you remember which guest that was? Let's take a look also while we're here at some of and we'll talk about these with Angela as we go along. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. The shirt is sort of like a red design. Maybe you can see the design more now. There you go. There's the design in the shirt. It's really nice and comfortable. We like it. Very, very nice. And how is everybody? Hope you guys are doing well. And we're going to take a look at some of the photos here too, and we'll go over these with her when she returns as she sets up her phone. These are just some of the photos of her. Again, television, film, Broadway, off-Broadway, a native New Yorker who lives in Los Angeles. Angelica Page most recently starred on Broadway in The Best Man and is touring Turning Page, a new play about her mother, the legendary late actress Geraldine Page. Angelica's wonderful conjuring of her mother's spirit is something to behold, according to LA Times. Angelica has spent much of her career developing projects from inception. I think we've got a couple of shots too from that incredible, there you go, here. There she is taking on the role of her mother. And unbelievable spitting image too, wouldn't you say? I mean, absolutely. Really, really fantastic. There's her mother as well, of course, Geraldine Page. Beautiful shots. So there's her mom and dad, Geraldine Page and Rip Torn, of course, legendary actor. And then there is Angelica with Geraldine's picture in the back there with her one-woman show. And critically acclaimed one-woman show as well, Turning Page. I love that. Angelica spent, again, much of her career developing the projects from inception. She mounted Eugene O'Neill's classic Anna Christie and tackled the title role under the direction of Tony-nominated Wilson Milliam, mentored by Estelle Parsons and the late Arthur Penn. It played to standing room only exclusive engagements in New York and Los Angeles and hailed as magnificent by Cindy Adams of the New York Post. The award-winning solo play Edge garnered her an Outer Critics Circle nomination, Best Solo Performance in New York. Sterling performance, according to New Yorker magazine as well. A resurrected Sylvia Plath, according to the New York Times, and has enjoyed critical acclaim with runs in New Zealand with Pure Magic, and New Zealand Herald said Pure Magic, and one-woman tour De Wonder, according to CinemaStage, Texas, Miami, and so much more. She received the Helen Hayes Award, Best Actress, for assuming the lead role in the Tony Award-winning Sideman at the Kennedy Center and after its off-Broadway and Broadway runs. And she was honored with the New York People's Choice Award in the Best Supporting Actress category for her portrayal of Patsy, the role she originated for the same production. In television, of course, she's worked for CBS, NBC, ABC, TNT, Showtime, and HBO as well. And she was, again, honored for the People's Choice in New York's Best Supporting Actress for her portrayal of Patsy, the role she originated in the same production. Nominated for her second Helen Hayes Award, Best Actress 2010, for her critically praised portrayal of Ivy Weston in the Pulitzer Prize and Tony-winning incredible play, August, Osage County. national Broadway tour. And her performance was actually heralded as revelatory by the Chicago Tribune. Also, she's appeared in 19 films, including Oscar-nominated Nobody's Fool, The Sixth Sense, The Contender, the self-penned Lucky Days, which won the CIFF Best Feature Award and WorldFest Gold Award as well. So she really is extraordinary. Here's some pictures of Geraldine Page as well. And Angelica, of course. And Geraldine. Here's some other shots as well of Angelica over the years in various roles. Again, Broadway, film, television, off-Broadway. And we'll talk about these. These are from various performances. There she is, the Tony Awards. Again, there's Rip Torn, her dad, and Geraldine Page, her mom. There is Turning Page, that solo show, paying tribute and homage to her incredible mother. There she is. You know, you recognize who that is? Beverly Hills 90210. Jason Priestley. There she is, Angelica with Jason. Here's another wonderful shot as well. Again, coming from the myriad of performances. Those of you who watched As the World Turns, she was Kit Harding on As the World Turns as well. And she's calling us on the phone right now. So let's see if we can help her out. Hey, gang, I know you guys are saying there's no sound. We're talking with Angelica on the phone right now, helping her try to get back into the system. So just hang out and enjoy the pictures, and she'll be back in a second. So we were on the phone with Angelica right now, and she's trying her phone, but her phone isn't marrying with the system too well. So she's trying plan C. A was her computer, but her Bluetooth wasn't working. B was the phone, but that isn't working. So she's rendering the family to assist her. But here are some great shows. This shot here, I'm on the phone. She ran off to get the family to help her. Here's Turning Page again. And there she is. Exactly. Yeah. You got it right, Juanita. Yeah, you guys can talk about what you had for supper. We had seasoned chicken and salad and tomato soup. Yeah, they're talking amongst themselves. There's another app, yeah. We'll test that out, yeah. Right, exactly. Okay, and then try to get back in. All right, we'll see you in a second. Okay, a little Dr. House call there. She had called me from Los Angeles. She's trying different ways to get in. Her phone doesn't want to marry with the system. There's something with her phone that's not letting her come in, and her laptop. But this sounds good to me. Homemade sloppy joes. So I also want to let you know while we're here, we'll take a look at some of the pictures once she's able to get back in. We have some amazing guests tomorrow. We have a brilliant singer and actor and performer, Ned Macy, is here tomorrow. So make sure you join us tomorrow. He's going to perform live as well. DJ Bucchiarelli is going to be with us on Thursday. He's amazing. He is absolutely out of this world. Dee Wallace is going to be coming very soon. A Hollywood legend, film, television, and more. Judy Tenuta, the legendary comedian, is here on Monday. So make sure you don't miss her as well. And guess who's back with us now?
Oh my God. Oh my God. Is it working? Hi.
It's working. And
can you hear me?
Yep, I hear you. You hear me. There's no echo.
Okay.
You're still in the same chair.
I am.
So what did you end up doing? You tried a third device or something, right?
Yeah. So this was my plan C. My husband went into his son, my stepson's bedside dresser that has some electronics in it that he uses.
Always
and we found this hidden under a couple of toys. So.
Yeah. Always go to the kid. They know how to do it all.
Exactly. And I wanted to tell everyone that I had apologized to you, and I want to apologize to everyone. I've done a couple of these and I never had feedback, so I didn't bother. I'm sorry, I didn't have headphones with me. So, okay. But we figured it out.
Yeah, they were all talking about what they were having for dinner and
dinner.
Yeah, I mean, some of them were having raviolis and all kinds of good stuff.
I know, it's amazing. I love cooking, and I was a professional chef before I was an actress back in the day. So I've been having a lot of fun cooking. I've really enjoyed it. I cook a lot for myself anyway. So
What are
Mhm.
some things that you've been cooking?
Well, I love pasta, and I found a few different pasta brands that are gluten free, and they are also complete proteins. They're made with like lentil and rice flour mixed
Mm.
together, or quinoa, and I cannot tell the difference. One is called
Oh,
Ancient Grains, and I forget what the other, but there's, in the health food section.
very,
So
very good.
that's been a way to feel kind of like guilt-free pasta, because I
Have
love pasta.
Have you been cleaning a lot of closets too in the house during all of this?
No, not really. Well, I just did it at the top of COVID, and then there hasn't been a reason to do it again, because there's just
Yeah.
the
Everything
house is so clean.
everything's folded. You don't need to refold things that are already folded and
No, the
cleaned. And
house is so clean, and and it's just like the fridge is stocked, and I don't know I don't know what else to do.
you were mentioning when you went to get the headphones, and again, they love the chair, they love the chaise on the other
Oh, thank
side.
you.
Really, really cool.
Yeah.
The
I
influence,
like, it's nice to have pretty things around.
absolutely.
It cheers
The
me up.
influence of your mom, Geraldine Page, your dad, Rip Torn, legendary Hollywood legends, and the influence of them and some of those early um, inspirations that you've had that really turned you into wanting to go into this line of work. Is this something that you knew as a kid you wanted to do, or did this come later for you?
Yeah, it came later. It wasn't something I wanted to do because I was too shy. And just the thought of, like, if you were to talk to me as a child, telling me that I was going to just go onto this live show with you today, never meeting you before, having major technical issues, I would have just like,
And you sailed through.
I just would not have been. I just like the thought of being able to do that without having a nervous breakdown wasn't really in the equation. So somehow, as I got older, throughout my teen years, I got very rebellious when I was 14, 15. And I kind of broke through a lot of my shy stuff. And then just before my mom died, she was 20, I was 23 at the time. She made me, I was a chef at the time, a vegetarian chef, and she made me promise that I would try acting. So that was the last thing she said to me. And she tricked me into promising. And so here I am. It's all my mom's fault.
Did you did you know what areas of acting you gravitated towards early on when she said that? Did you like drama? Did you like musicals? Did you like comedy? Was there
You mean
something
like what did I like to watch, or
what
because I
what
didn't do it before, right? Before
once
she
you
said that. I
yeah,
hadn't
once
even done it in private. It
you didn't
wasn't
do
in the
the school
equation.
plays and all that. Yeah. Once
You know what? I did a couple of, you're reminding me of another reason I didn't want to be an actress. I did 3 or 4 plays as a kid, and each one was more traumatizing than the one before.
yeah.
And so, no.
So when she did say that to you, and then you said, "Okay, I'll give this a shot. I'll look into it. I'll pursue it." Did you then know what spoke to your heart more? Was it drama, musicals, comedy? Was there anything
Not
that spoke to you?
musicals.
Not
Not
musicals. Yeah.
musicals. But I was never really like I loved Sweeney Todd. I was a dark child. So I liked I liked cabaret. I liked Sweeney Todd. But I didn't feel like I was going to ever perform in musicals. It wasn't really my thing. And maybe it's also because it wasn't my mom's thing
Right.
or my dad's. So maybe it was just, I gravitated to a really nice kind of like broad palette of everything both my parents did. I really love dangerous, violent scenes, and my dad was, like a master at that. And
Sure.
I love comedy, and both of them ended up being great comics. And I love deep feminine tragedy. So not in life anymore, but
Right.
I like to say that my life used to be like a psychological thriller / horror film, and
Right.
now it's a romantic comedy.
I like
So
that.
when anything gets like weird, I'm like, memo, you didn't get the memo. I only do romantic comedies now in life. So
Yeah.
yeah, it seems to be working. You can tell by my chair. This is totally
Yeah.
like a romantic comedy outfit and chair and furniture. It's definitely not like a psychological like horror film.
Though you did do psychotherapy, right?
I did. That was a comedy. It was,
Tell us about
yes.
that. Yeah.
Oh, it was so fun. It was the only screwball comedy I ever
Yeah.
did. So I watched a lot of screwball comedies. Jeffrey Carlson. That's all I have
Yeah.
to say. He's one of
Yeah.
my favorite leading men ever. And only one of two Juilliard actors that I had kissing scenes with in my life. And they are the best kissers. Juilliard. They know how to train them.
They play a mean cello too, the cellists. We've had a couple of them on the show as well.
Yeah,
Here's
I can imagine.
Yeah.
I wonder how they kiss.
Haven't had that happen on stage or off air with a cellist.
I'll figure it out.
A flautist,
Yeah.
a violinist.
So
guitarist.
Jeffrey Carlson is gay, and we had a lot of fun convincing people that I had turned him straight for a little bit of time. And it was really fun. There were rumors that we were dating. I mean, it was pandemonium. It was great fun. And if you see in the back of that photo, that's a backdrop of a like enlarged photograph of the Los Angeles skyline. And I actually kept that. I have it in storage, and I kept it because I loved it so much. And now I live in LA, and I have that at nighttime. I have a view of the city. So I think I somehow did some magic conjuring with it.
That must be incredible.
Yeah.
We have these wonderful photos here that you also have on your website. Tell us about these really, really fantastic photos. I know they mean a great deal to you, of course.
Yeah, this is a photograph of my mother, Geraldine Page. She loved her glasses, and this photo is so fun because if you see, she's got all these glasses that she's trying on, like a ton of them. And I kind of hinted that that's one of the things that I have a lot of fun playing with. And my play about her, when I play her, is her love of wigs and hats and glasses and gloves. And so there's a lot of playing with those kinds of costumes and props and stuff like that. And so that's a little bit of an homage. I love that picture.
It's another great one, huh?
Yeah. I'm wondering, I can't remember if this was a series from Sam Shaw.
Because there's three. There's that one, and then this fantastic one.
What was the third? Yeah, that one is just, look at that waist. Yeah. So she was I would say she was in her mid-30s at that time, a few years before I was born. She was 39 when she had me. I was her first child, and it was 1964, and at that time she was old. That was old at that time. And she also breastfeeding was completely out of fashion, and she insisted that she breastfeed me. She really was so ahead of the curve.
Yeah, that she really was. Absolutely. Yeah, that was not in the norm back then. That's a cool shot too.
Yeah. It's so evocative. It's beautiful.
It really is. Yeah. You can really put a lot to that. Again, they really captured a lot. Here's this photo too. Tell us about this one.
This is a photo of me in a film called Lucky Dates, which I wrote and co-directed and starred in.
Yes.
It's the only
Tony as well, I think.
One of my brothers co-directed it with me.
Yeah.
And I really loved that dress. It was a super low budget film. First of all, if you look at like the tile in this bathroom, and you look behind it, you see like these blinds and the way the art direction, right? This took place in Brooklyn in Coney Island. And if you look at the art direction of this bathroom, we had a very, very, very low budget. So what I did was let life be 99% of the art direction. I found we used an apartment that belonged to a family friend of ours. She'd been living there for 60 years, and all that came, it's like you would spend 2 days dressing up a bathroom to look like this, and it
So
was
you used a
so
real
beautiful.
apartment
Yeah,
versus
we did
set. Wow.
we did as little as possible when it came to, like, when we shot extras, we would shoot people in the background without them knowing that we were shooting, because it was such a skeleton crew, and then we would ask them afterwards to sign a release, and most of them did. I would think one person refused, and we had to cut around them and not use them in the film. But it's like, when you see these extras acting, it's like you don't ever see extras do stuff like that, because they're acting, they're not living life. And so we got to these really these moments of what I call divine awkwardness, that are so beautiful, and something that no one could really do on purpose. We have a lot of that in the film, and a lot of really beautiful art direction that, again, is just came that way naturally.
Sometimes,
made it look that way.
Right. When it's natural, the authenticity of that is really cuts deep, and just, allows you to bring out the authenticity in the performances too, because you're in a real setting, in a real living, breathing place, right?
Yeah, we kind of shot it, and we did a lot of improv and stuff, and we shot it in a very dogma style documentary film, like natural. So dogma uses natural lighting and just using what you find, and so that was. But a lot of it had to do with just having such a low budget and having such a small crew, and not having a big art department, so we let life be the art department. And the dress in that photograph that I was wearing, there's this amazing costume collection in New York, the TDF. I believe it's still called the TDF Costume Collection. And if you have a not-for-profit, I have a not-for-profit fiscal sponsor for my production company I had at that time. And so we're able to access this costume collection and rent from it. And it's very inexpensive. And this dress was just like brand new, never worn. It was still in its original wrapping, and just happened to fit me when my waist was a little bit smaller. But I fit into it perfectly in these crazy sleeves and the décolleté. What do you call it? Décolleté. You got to say it like Brooklyn. Yeah,
décolleté.
I don't speak French anyway. But yeah, the cleavage is pretty amazing, and the nails. It was really, really fun. Cool. I've had so much experience with my own makeup and hair and costumes, and really DIY creativity for all of my life, that I was able to do my own, and also I wrote the script, and I also co-directed. So I was in charge of making sure that everything looked the way I wanted it to. So yeah, I was.
Did you enjoy that experience, having the opportunity to have involvement in really the nugget of the idea all the way through, as performer, as director, and producer, all these different roles at the same time? Did you enjoy that?
At that time with that production, like I really enjoy it when I'm doing a one-person show. Even though I have an outside director come in, I still do a lot of self-direction for quite a bit of time before I bring a director in, because I don't want to waste their time while I'm futzing around. So I work for a while. I'm not taking up any other actor's time, and I work by myself, and I direct myself. But I found it really uncomfortable directing other people, especially when I'm in a scene with them. I was like, what? Like, can you imagine? Like, I'm in a scene and I'm telling this actor who's in a scene with me about like what to do. It just like, it doesn't seem quite, something's a little weird about that. So luckily I had my brother in as co-director, so he was able to step in, take my notes, but then give the direction to the other actors without it coming from me, and like cut, like in the middle of a scene, cut, like rolling, you know what I mean? While you're preparing, it's a little weird. Yeah. I know people do it, but it made me uncomfortable. And I love casting other actors, but I cast them because I trust them and I think they're brilliant, but I don't like giving notes to other actors. So I don't think I'm really cut out to be a director.
Right.
I just don't like telling other people what to do.
Tell them what to do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
don't like people telling me what to do, and
Yeah.
I don't want to tell people what to do.
Yeah. Let's take that.
Unless they're stepping on my foot and I'm like,
Then
get off.
then you tell them what to do
Yeah.
and where to go. The directing, yeah, can be, all right. That was really fantastic. Fantastic. We've done it 81 times. Let's just do another one.
I did. I was doing one of the many Law and Order episodes that I've done. It was I shouldn't say which one it was because then you could look up who the director was. So I'm not going to tell you which one it was. But I'm trying to figure out now what I should say and what I shouldn't say. Because I want to protect the person's identity, obviously, but it's a great story. But it was like Friday, and the director, I have this thing with directors where they're trying to get me to do something. But they don't want to just tell me. So they talk around it, and I'm like, what do you, they obviously want something really specific, but they can't quite get me to understand what it is they want. Because if I knew, I would just do it. And now that I get a little older, I don't mind people just showing me. I'm like, it's Friday and it's 6:30 p.m. And it's the rest of the cast was like, one of the people in the cast was like, he's like whispering under his breath, he's a sadist. The director, he kept wanting me to do it over and over again. And he was just like, let's try this. And I'm just like, nothing, I just couldn't make him happy. And I really wanted to. And I don't know what that's about. I mean, I did another episode of another Law and Order years before, and I was rehearsing the first scene. It was first, a half hour, my first half hour on the set. And the director, we did the scene, and the director's trying to talk around, just trying to explain something to me. And I was like, you want me to cry? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, okay. I was going to cry. It was the first time we read through it. And we were talking about my husband dying. I think that this one I killed a few husbands on these different episodes. I think you find out later that I killed him. You always find out later, right? But it was so I had to be crying because we can't let the audience know that I'm not really sad. I don't know. But that was really great because I was just like, you want me to cry? Let me take my contacts out. I'll be right back. So especially when it comes to TV, which is film is so much faster than theater in terms of what you have to produce to show the audience, right? To what the outcome is. With theater, you have so much more time to build it and rehearse it and marinate with it. And film is a lot faster than that, but TV is so fast. And it's one of the things I love about TV is it's just so fast. And then it's over. And then it's amazing.
So how did you we'll jump right to TV. How did you being Kit Harding on As the World Turns?
Oh my God. I was so, did you find any clips of me as Kit Harding?
I didn't. I was looking. I couldn't find anything.
Oh my God, we
gotta
find those. I was on for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Did
you love it?
Yeah. I loved it. We got these pages. Oh my God, we had to shoot an hour a day.
Yeah.
That was the fastest. That was crazy. You get the script the night before. I'd have 9-page scenes, and you have 2 takes to do it. I mean, the fastest. And the best thing of all was I got these fan letters, mostly from men in prison who were in love with Kit. My character was in prison. And I got all these love letters from different men who thought I was just the best, that my character was. They were in love with my character, who was killing little old ladies for their pension checks. So, and then I was also, my character also was the nemesis of the sweetheart at that time, the character's name was Lily. And I would and it was right after Tanya Harding, the whole Tanya Harding thing. So people would ask me if I was Tanya Harding's, if I was related, and I would write back and say I was her cousin.
I could see, right? Yeah. Do you ice skate?
I ice skate a little bit.
Did you when you did that, did you want to stay within the world of
I
soap
would have loved
operas?
it. It was
Yeah,
good money.
yeah, yeah.
You know those, like long takes, and they
Yes.
like stay
Just
on your
like
face for like
yeah.
many seconds, and they would write like into the script. They would write my like the I forget what they call it, but it's kind of like a fade out, but it's
Yeah.
called something intro in, intro out. I forget what they call it. But
With
there's
the
a
music
word,
going.
yeah. And they would say her face darkens as we fade to dot 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 black or something. And I was like, I know what to do, because it's so awkward, because I'd be on the payphone and then I'm like talking to somebody and something, I have evidence on somebody and I'm going to do something. And then I'm like staring off, and her face darkens as we fade to. And so what I started doing is, because they were paying me so much money for that show, which I loved, but it was only for only 3 weeks and I spent it pretty quickly. But I would count, I would like silently count $100, $200, $300.
And how's it, was it based on by line or by time? How did they base that? By time.
By episode.
By time.
Episode. And
Yeah.
so it was like, but the episodes are shot, not episodes, per day. Per day. And you would have either the 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. slot, or the 1 p.m. to like 6 p.m. Something. Yeah, it was set like the day was split in half. And I mostly did the mornings, but then you're out. I mean, you're out by like lunchtime. But if they keep you into the next section, like one time they kept me over by an hour and they paid me for the second half of the day. I loved it. It was really fun too. It was just
and
like.
Where did they shoot? They shot in New York, right?
Yeah, we shot on 57th Street.
Oh, 57th?
In the CBS, that big CBS building.
That's right.
I think it's between 10th and 11th.
CBS Television Center, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of them I know, like Another World, and the others shot over in Brooklyn. That's where Another World, and the other ones were in the studios in Brooklyn. But yeah, that's cool.
And then also, like, the whole set was built inside the sound studio. It was just really magical.
Elaborate sets, right? Yeah. To think that those shows on for like 30 and 40 years, the fans are really, the
fans are crazy. I never got fan letters like I did with that show. And they would come flooding in. And it was like, it wasn't quite like this, but in my memory, because I have an overactive imagination, I tend to inflate, like, memories so that they're a little bit more dramatic. You remember that scene in the original Miracle on 34th Street when they bring in the packages, the bags of mail into the courtroom? So it wasn't quite like that. It wasn't like they were like dumping big bags of letters on my dressing room table, but they would come in with like stacks of letters for me to read through. And a lot of times it was repeat, like people that were like, it was a little scary too, because some of the fans were super obsessive and some were very, very much like stalkers.
Yeah.
They wanted to live, coming to New York.
And if you don't do what they want sometimes, like in terms of how the character acts on the show, and you're going by what
you might have a misery situation.
Right, yeah, because you have to do what the script writers have written, and that might take that character into areas that the fans don't want, and then the fans will respond, well, we don't like her dating that guy. That guy's not the guy for Kit Harding. We want her with the other one. Or
I know I wasn't on long enough to be able to
even have that.
Yeah, but I was on long enough to get a really big following for a little while.
Yeah,
but it was really interesting and really fun, and there was also that I have to plug my computer in. Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm losing power. I don't want to lose you guys again.
Sure.
But there was also, like, as a serious actress, there was a lot of like very like snooty, like people really were like really look down their nose at soap operas as for like, oh, you shouldn't be on a soap opera or something. And I was like, it's the best training out there. It was crazy, like to have to learn that many lines and
It's amazing. Yeah, the thick scripts, and they would
And also
shoot.
to make this wooden, dialogue realistic it was a great exercise.
And a lot of action and romance, just all this involvement. Yeah, the serial's really just absolutely amazing. And again, the longevity. You have fans, and you'd have people who just know every single thing about the character and about who's with what, and they absolutely.
Yeah, and there were all these articles, all this press I was doing, like for the
Soap
different
opera
digests and stuff like
and
that. Yeah, it was
weekly, and
serious.
they meant business. Yeah, they meant business. Here's another cool shot we found, Angelica. You and a group of fabulous colleagues. Tell us about this shot.
This is a photograph that's me in the middle of in the back of the table there with the blonde hair. I'm playing Ivy Weston in August, Osage County. This was the Broadway, not production, but Broadway tour.
Yeah.
So it was the Broadway production tour. We played 21 cities in 11 months. Estelle Parsons, who is standing, was playing Violet Weston. And I really wanted to go. Obviously, anybody would want to go on tour if they were an actress, right? Worth any salt, they would want to be on this tour. I would think. I'm saying it that way because there was somebody, a higher up at the Actors Studio, who I won't say who it is, but she said to me, "Why on earth would you go on that tour?" And I said, "Because I'm an actress." I'm like, "Are you kidding me? This is theatrical history, So the play was 3.5 hours long. We did 8 shows a week. Like I said, we went to 21 cities. Some of the theaters were quite large. In St. Louis, we played at the Fox, which was 4,000 seats. You just don't get live theater experiences like that very often. No, now, like we're talking pre-COVID, but even then it was not. For being a non-musical, it was really, we attracted huge crowds and got to play these huge theaters. And Estelle was about, she was in her 80s at that time. And I was like, I want to follow her around on tour and do some research, figure out how to do that when I grow up. That's who I want to be. Are you kidding? She was like, let's say 83. I'm guessing it was 83, 84. But to 8 times a week to go out on stage and have thousands of people leap to their feet and give you a standing ovation, like what a nice way to grow old.
Right, exactly. Right, exactly. Beautifully said. Too, like you mentioned, some of the folks sometimes telling you, "Oh, why would you go on soap operas and why would you go on tour?" What's wrong with that? I think probably because of also the upbringing and the early understanding of the business, maybe, and just in things that you've observed, things that you saw, things that you heard, even that your folks dealt with and did and had to work through as well. No, nothing is perfect. That maybe that gave you this understanding too of, appreciating the craft. Like I'm sure there's times you've worked with people who come in with little experience or what have you, and they think that they are Hollywood's it. And then there is that little snootiness and all this other stuff. And you're like,
people have a lot to say, especially when they have less experience. There was somebody,
and you can cipher through that because you have all this wealth of experience and just witnessing your parents and then you getting involved as well. You could almost sit back and say, okay, this one's not going to last that long. That's not how you do it, because you have the experience. You've been there, you've seen it, you've lived it.
Yeah. Someone, I had remounted my Sylvia Plath after I did like a 5-year world tour, and then I put it down for a little while, and then I decided when I was putting my mom's show together that my director wanted to do them in rep. So do Sylvia Plath in the afternoon, do Geraldine at night. It's kind of a weird combo, but an interesting one. It's definitely, but someone wrote something really mean and they were like, I forget. I think it was actually my husband's ex. Said to him, she's been doing that play for 15 years. Are you going to sit there and watch her? When is she going to stop doing that play? And I'm like,
That was a very soap opera laugh that you did.
First off, right. First off, and second of all, and third of all. But the thing is, it's my business how long I want to work on something, and what a luxury, and it's wonderful. Like, why not spend as much time as possible with something that you're working on and that you love? You know what I mean? Because the one thing I really learned from my mom, and she was it was something super, well, just deeply important to her, and that she really impressed upon me, is that you, how to never get tired of doing a long run, and how to keep things fresh, and how there's this bottomless cup that you get to drink out of. And the longer you work on something, as she said, when she was younger, she did a lot of summer stock. So she thought by the time you were opening, you were done. And then she was on to learning her next role, because they used to overlap productions. And then she got older and she had to do like these long runs on Broadway. And she was like, oh my God, I'm never finished. Just like a garden is never finished. I think that's a Zen quote. It's true.
That's very true. And you're so correct. Would you say, did you want, even though you weren't necessarily thinking of going into acting or performance, did you watch certain techniques that your parents had, or have you gone back in years to watch their technique and how they did what they did so well?
Yeah, I mean, I have a much greater appreciation for what they did after I became an actor myself. I just wasn't so interested in the intricacies of how they played parts before I was an actor. It was more like survival, like just wanting them to, like, when are they going to come home? When are they going to be done?
You were the kid, right? Right.
You know, when can I have my dad back or my mom back? But now looking back, yeah, it's just there, and just the enormity. So my dad passed away in 2019, and I put together a really beautiful tribute for him at the Paramount Theater in Hollywood. And most of it, there was a little bit that was live spoken. It was me. I spoke, but really I had the evening, or the afternoon was started with my cousin, Sissy Spacek, who was my dad's first cousin, and who she really credits with helping her get her footing, her original footing in the industry. She came to live with us when she was 16, 17 years old, and wanted to be a folk singer, and decided while she lived with us that summer that she was going to try acting, and the rest is history. So she did some speaking at the top of the afternoon, and I did a little tiny bit of speaking, but the most of the tribute I had either interviewed people or got clips. And it started with my father's first TV performance appearance. It was 1955 or something. And he was so young. That was the year he met my mother. And then he got together with my mother a few years after that. But it was really fun to be able to pull. It was, 6+ decades of work that my dad did. So to be able to actually pull up and have to choose what, the evening was 80 minutes or the afternoon was 80 minutes long, the program. So like, how do you pick the greatest 60 minutes of his career? It was really, really fun. And I'm going to be expanding that into I have so much work done on it already that it would be really great to expand it a little bit into a documentary, because there hasn't been a documentary about either one of my parents, which is kind of shocking and interesting.
Really? There hasn't been at all, huh? Wow. So you'll do that.
I'm going to do it.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Why not?
That is the best. Yeah, that is the best when you get a chance to work on things like that, because you can.
It's really interesting too, because
the accuracy. You can make sure the accuracy is there.
Yeah, the accuracy is really important, and I am blessed with an ability to distance myself from the story in terms of being a family member, and really view both of them from a historic perspective and from one artist to another. And Hilton Alls in the New Yorker wrote this really beautiful piece about my my show about my mom, and that was something that he talked about, is about my mother and me both being artists, and so that my piece isn't so much a piece about what a piece about her mother, but about one artist honoring another artist. So
Is it
I
very
like
hard?
to, yeah, because you got to forgive
Yeah,
people for the family stuff,
sure.
because
Right,
or else,
exactly.
we're never going to get anything done.
Get anything done. I guess I would imagine too, as you're celebrating your parents in the ways that you have and do, it can get quite emotional and very touching as well, especially with them not being here to see it or be a part of it, bringing back certain memories as you celebrate their life, and then you hear people mention them. Oh, they were wonderful, or I worked with them, or I knew them, or they were a friend. It can get quite deep and emotional doing that, huh?
Yeah, it can. Uh, but also, I don't
Therapy
know.
too? Is it like
Yeah,
therapy?
well, listen, my mother died 32 years ago, 33 years ago, something like that, right? I mean, we're
Yeah,
probably getting on 34 now.
it is. It's hard to
And
believe.
my dad, it wasn't a surprise when he died. He was old. He was 88, and he was a heavy drinker. So his 88 was a really intense 88, right? Like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like that he lived that long was shocking
That's
to
right.
all of us. So we were prepared, and he and I can't speak for the rest of my family, but I know for him and me, we went through our moments where we didn't get along, and we um, took some time apart. But he and I were completely resolved at the end of his life, and I was with him when he passed, and he was graceful and heroic, and
Yeah.
really taught me a lot of lessons about how to die. Both my parents did. So there are tears there, but there's so much that's resolved, and there's so much that is healed, that it's not as emotional as one might think. If
Right.
that makes sense. Like, it's
Right.
emotional and it's deep, but it's not like sobbing emotional. It's
Right.
just like wow, like, I'm so honored to have been given that much time with these people, because of what they taught me.
Mm,
You know.
mm. Yeah. What are some things you think that your mother taught you?
Well, one of them, speaking of dying, is that to not be afraid of death.
Mm,
And since I was a little girl, she would talk to me about death, which really freaked me out. I was like
yeah.
super scared. She wouldn't bring it up to give me a hard time or anything. It's just I would bring it up, and then she'd be
Yeah.
like, "Oh, well, oh, what are you scared of? Like,
Yeah.
so what about it scares you?" And I'm like, "I don't want to be buried down in the cold ground all by myself forever." She's like, "Well, why don't you? You could be cremated. That's what I'm going to do. That's not going to be cold at all." So she would come up with stuff like that, which didn't help. Like, now I'm
Didn't
going to
come
be
through.
burned.
I don't want to be cremated either. What was next?
Um,
Mausoleum?
yeah. And so she always said that she wasn't afraid to die. And I've had people say, "Oh, I knew her and she said she wasn't afraid to die," but that was bullshit. And I'm like, "Well, but were you with her at the end?" Because I was, and she wasn't. So I don't know what to say.
Right.
And to be able to be taught that at any age is one of the greatest gifts, because it there are again, I think it's within Buddhist teachings that the great fear for everybody, it all stems back to the fear of death, and which kind of makes sense, because there are so
Yeah.
many things. It's about attachment. It's about not being able to let go of things gracefully, that cause a lot of suffering and pain. And so I think if we can, I'm not fearless, not completely fearless about death, but a lot less fearful than I was when I was little. So I'm working on it.
Right, right. We're all working, work in progress, and we do the best we can, and that's a beautiful thing that you have that ability to at least go in that direction, because loss is something we all deal with. And, it's something that some people run away from the conversation and don't have the conversation at all, while others need to talk about it, need to talk it out, and need to work through it. So it's beautiful that you have the ability to do that. I've got another wonderful, this is a cool shot.
Oh, I was actually gonna, I was thinking about using that in the that bit at the top.
The video, yeah.
Yeah, so this is from a TV pilot that I shot in Toronto. Thank you, Mona. It was filmed in Toronto. We were to look like Queens, I think, New York.
Yeah.
It was created by some folks who worked on NYPD Blue. It never went. It was a TNT
pilot,
and it was about a hostage negotiation unit. And Michael Rispoli was the lead hostage negotiator. And this is a picture of me, I was the first hostage. I was held hostage at gunpoint by my ex-husband. We were trapped in a minivan in a car wash the whole episode. And then at the end, I can tell the end because no one's ever going to see it. Because it didn't go.
So there's no spoiler alert here.
Yeah. So it was really fun because I got rescued by a SWAT team. They just showed up in their uniforms and they dragged me out of the minivan, and it was fun. I don't have to do it in real life. I could just do it. That was really fun. William Finkelstein was the person I worked with, who's one of my favorite people. I was so happy to be able to work on that with him and get to know him. It was good times.
That is cool. And of course, beautiful shot here. Tell us about that night.
The Tony Award party in Los Angeles. It was at the, oh gosh, what's the name of that hotel? It's on Sunset Boulevard. It's near the Standard. It's the taller one. It was up in the penthouse.
Yeah.
It was fun. I was just starting to date my husband, Dimitri Lipkin, who's a television creator, but it was early in our relationship, so he stood on the side and he let me get my photo taken alone because we weren't publicly a couple yet.
Right.
Hey, it's kind of nice to have private time in a relationship before you go public, Especially get a little lead time so people can't find you.
Right, especially when you grow up in a public figure environment. Absolutely, everybody needs privacy and alone time. Absolutely. And then now we take you to Beverly Hills 90210 and Jason Priestley. This goes back, huh?
When it was legal to hug.
Right.
To say.
Right, not only healthy to hug, but also legal to hug.
Yeah, so that was Sidemen. That was the first play I did on Broadway. Then we went to London and played the West End. And when we played in London, Jason came in to play the narrator. And that's me and my Patsy. The character's name was Patsy. A great wig, great lips, great makeup, and great leading man. So he lives in Los Angeles. His wife, Naomi Priestley, is an incredible fitness trainer. And I'm really excited to one day, hopefully, again, get back into the sweatshop and exercise with her again in person. But it's been really great. They got together in 2000. That photo was in 2000. So it's been 20 years, almost 21 years since we did that play. I think it's almost exactly. When did we open? We closed in June. So, I think we were just opening 20 years ago in London. That photo takes me back.
How fast 20 years goes by in a New York.
Yeah, it's so nice to stay connected.
And do you connected with a lot of the people that you've performed with, worked with
Yeah.
over the
Oh,
years?
yeah. And like I said, Jason lives here in LA, and pre-COVID, we used to get together all the time for dinner and get our kids together. And yeah, it's amazing. It's just amazing. We had been out of touch for a few years, and then found each other again. And that's what's really fun too, is letting people go and then finding them again.
They come back into your life.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Here's a good group of people you're working with here. Tell us about this shot.
Who is that? Well, that's The Best Man.
Yeah.
The Best Man on Broadway. Let's see. Candice Bergen in the middle. Oh, I'm right next to Candice. Okay. Yeah, I'm in black. Olia. Huge cast. I think there were 19 of us
Yeah.
in the cast, playing something like 25 people. I got out of having to play more than one part, but a lot of people played more than one part. I didn't want to, so I kept, like, there were these big crowd scenes. There was so many actors, and I would go get a coffee or go to the bathroom during when the director was looking for who to put in the crowd scenes as other characters. And so I was like, I'm fine to be in as many scenes as possible, but I don't want to play other character. Like, I just put my character in there. So
Yeah.
I kind of got out of that. And then Sybil Shepherd. Let's see, who's Michael McKeon. Who else? James Earl Jones.
Mm.
Who else is there? Where's John Larroquette? Oh, he's hiding behind Eric McCormack. John Larroquette.
What an amazing group, huh?
Yeah. And then Candice. And then is Angela Lansbury in there? She was in that cast as well.
Lansbury.
Can you imagine? Like, what a crazy cast.
Oh, like you say, Candice Bergen.
Yeah. And then Candice Bergen left and Sybil Shepherd came in. And then Sybil Shepherd left without notice. And then I slid in to that role because I was playing a smaller part. And I was playing the mistress of John Larroquette. And then Sybil left without any notice. And in 11 hours, I was playing his wife.
Oh, boy. Wow.
But we had been in the play for we had been performing it for at that time, 8 months. So it gave me a lot of time to, I don't know, learn all the other parts and say, I can play that part. I'll just slide into the other role. I'll just slide into the lead. It was really, really fun. I got to put me in a silver wig and try to age me up a little bit. It was great.
Here's another cool one.
Yeah, Sylvia Plath. That photograph was taken in London when we moved from New York to London. That is a really good shot. That really, really, really captures her. Yes, thanks, Mona. Yeah, that's beautiful with the blue as well. So Sylvia used to get up, the last year of her life, she would get up, reports are that she would get up at 4 a.m. to write poetry. And she called it the blue hour. There was something, she used the word blue in describing that time of the morning, 4 a.m. she would get up to write. And so we imagined, what that time of morning would be like for her.
Some people are that way. Are you that way at all? I had a friend that's a screenwriter, and his most creative time is when the house is quiet, everybody's in bed, and the phone isn't ringing, and the world isn't calling his name. And then he wakes up out of his sleep and he runs right to at that time it was the typewriter, now it's the computer, and just start typing whatever. Even sometimes if he wakes out of a dream, he has to get that dream down on paper quick because it is maybe a script of some kind.
Yeah.
And he's the most creative when the house is quiet and the phone's not ringing and it's 2 a.m. or something. Do you find that for you?
It's an amazing time to work. I don't. I love to sleep.
Yeah.
COVID has gotten me in bed really early. Is it time to sleep? Yeah. Can I go to bed now? It's 9. I've been going to sleep at 9 o'clock. It's crazy. But also,
really?
Yeah, but the thing is, I always sleep. So I get up really early, but I still sleep many, many hours. I get up at 6-ish. That's just because I can't sleep any longer because I was in bed at 9. But so I go through stages where I will get up really early and start working. And I also go through stages where I feel like I have to produce a lot more work. And then I go through stages where I'm just marinating. So I don't really have that thing. A lot of people have a very regimented, I get up at this time to work every day. I work, I write for this many words each day. but I'm not even though I've been writing, I'm not a writer by trade. It's just something I have been adding into my life. And I don't like to force myself into producing anything. I want it to happen naturally and to
Right.
really enjoy it. So what happens is, like, I tend to go into like spurts. It's almost like being pregnant and then like just like going into delivery, and then I'm like, then I write for like 2 weeks straight and I don't sleep, and then it's like done. So
Yeah.
and I kind of do this thing too where I procrastinate until
Mhm.
like just can't like stand it anymore.
Right.
Um,
You got to move on.
and
to
there's
the
been
next
a lot
thing.
of and during COVID, there's been a lot of time to experiment with all these different ways of doing and not doing things. I did have a really regimented schedule for a time that was really woke up really early in the morning. I lived for a bit of time in a Buddhist monastery in Northern California, and we would get up at 5:20 every morning, and by 5:40 we would be in the Zendo, which is the temple room, to meditate. And so that was a very interesting regimented schedule, which I quite liked for a time. But I ended up leaving because they actually weren't strict enough. I was like, if we're going to do this, we have to really stick. Everyone has to
Really
stick to the rules. But
stick
it's
to
not
the
like,
rules,
because what? Like, it's too easy to break rules for me.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
wasn't there to do that. So I was like, I'm not going to break it. I'm just going to leave. I was like, if you guys can't follow the rules that you put into place, then I'm leaving.
You still follow it? Is it still part of your life?
Well, I'm like, I'm non-denominational, and I'm spiritual by nature. I'm one of my early therapists told me that I was a natural Buddhist. Whatever that means, I think it means that I don't follow doctrine or dogma, but I follow nature. Like
I like that.
I'm
Yeah.
a fan of nature and the way nature works, and so I
Right.
learned from nature.
There's
And
an
if I were
authenticity to nature.
if I were to have if someone if I were forced to pick a religion, I would pick nature.
Nature, right?
Like I would worship nature, but I don't know how else to put it, but
Yeah.
I have studied Buddhism a lot, and I love the concept of it, and I love a lot of the teachings, but I keep finding like poking holes in philosophies, and
Yeah.
ultimately, I guess they're all man-made, and the thing that's not man-made is nature, and that's why I can't poke a hole in nature. It's just like it works.
Which leads me to this fabulous shot. Look at this. Oh my,
Oh,
that is cool.
isn't that fun?
What
That's
was
when I
this
was.
for?
Oh my god, I was so blonde. That was for again with Jeffrey Carlson. He asked me to work on Sweetbird of Youth with him, and that was my look. In my mother's part of Princess Cosmonopolis. And I decided, I just decided for my, though I think if I were to do a production of it, I think my character would have some roots growing in, because she has been on the run for a little bit of time and on a bender.
Right.
So I probably have maybe, I don't know, like 4 weeks or 5 weeks worth of roots growing in with that color. But this was like the beginning. It's a little Mae Westy, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
And I look a little cross-eyed. Pretty though.
And sort of that almost the sort of texture underneath you as the chair.
Well, it's this. Yes,
and
it is. It's the same piece.
It's that chair, really?
Yeah,
It's
it's the same fur. I reuse pieces all the time.
So now you can really see the color there.
Yeah, it's great. I love color. And that orange, that the robe I was wearing, that's a piece of my mother's. Recently,
beautiful.
Some items that belong to my mother that have been missing since her death just got returned to me, and by someone who had them.
So,
and it was time to give them to me. But it was time to
return them to the rightful owner, right?
Yeah, it was time. There was a whole story that I'm going to share at some point. My mom's centennial is she was born in 1924, so 2024 is her centennial, which is what I'm going to be mounting the next version of Turning Page for. I'm also working on a documentary about her, a book about her, and I have some really great stories connected to these missing items that have come back.
That's a wonderful shot of her.
Yeah.
You were celebrating her birthday?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful shot. You can see resemblances there
Mm-hmm.
between you and her and your dad as well, really.
Yeah, she looks a lot like my daughter as well. My daughter, Tana.
Has the look. There's another great shot.
That's me backstage at the Golden Theater, photographed by Fabrice Trombert for Black Book. And that hair, what a great hairdo.
Look at the eye, look at the expression in your eyes. It's really cool. It's very confident and very determined.
Yeah, that's when I was working on Sideman. I probably was juggling. Well, so I was telling the story about when Candice Bergen left the best man and I slid over into the lead from the supporting role. It's kind of like something I do. So back when I was doing Sideman, I started off in the smaller role of the character of Patsy, and then I slid over into the role of Terry, which was the lead, when the person playing Terry couldn't do the part. And then I would go back and forth and play both parts, depending on what was needed. So maybe that's that expression of the, I don't know, just the pure enjoyment of having that much creativity to play around with in a public forum.
Absolutely. Look at that shot.
Yeah, so I basically grew up backstage, as one might imagine. This was a backstage during the Actors Studio production of Three Sisters by Chekhov, directed by Lee Strasberg. And that's my mom holding me and Kim Stanley looking over her shoulder.
It's a very, very precious shot. Yeah, very precious.
I love Kim Stanley.
Newborn baby there, huh? And look at your mother's expression as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We get along good.
Yeah, very, very beautiful. Great shot. There she is as a baby. There's our guest as a baby, everybody.
That was a long time ago.
Just a year or two. Another cool shot here, of course. Your parents, Rip Torn and Geraldine Page.
Yeah, my dad had a little blonde moment. He's blonde here. And he has got some really interesting eye makeup, right? He doesn't even look like himself. It's really interesting.
What was happening there? What was
this was a production of Strange Interlude by who wrote Strange Interlude? Eugene O'Neill.
Mm-hmm.
It was at the Hudson Theater on Broadway. It was an Actor Studio Theater production as well. Jose Quintero directed it. My father, it was his brainchild. He's the one who put it together for the Actor Studio production unit. My parents put together the Actor Studio Theater for a short bit of time. It didn't last forever, unfortunately, for many reasons, which I'm going to write about in my book.
You really look like her there, the eyes, everything in that shot.
So the really interesting thing about this production is my parents were just newly together, not married yet. My father produced this. Ben Gazzara left. My father replaced him. So there's kind of like that replacing people who leave thing. Yeah. I think I got that from him because my mother never did that, but my dad did it all the time. And he did it with Ben Gazzara a lot. So I'd love to know a little bit more about why Ben Gazzara kept leaving. But I think my dad, just being a smart businessman, he was like, Ben Gazzara always leaves. Let me just cover him. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why he ended up. He replaced him in Cat on a Hot Tin Roof in 1955. So there had been this long history of my dad replacing Ben Gazzara. Yeah. So he replaced Ben Gazzara in this Strange Interlude, which was a 9-act play that they had 2 dinner breaks, maybe a lunch and a dinner break. I don't know how many. I think it was like 6 hours or something. The production long, but there's this really interesting. My mother's on What's My Line during this time and talks about the production, and I love this production and that What's My Line, because this production my mother became pregnant with me, and she was playing a woman who wanted to get pregnant in the play, and then she was such a method actress that she actually became.
How I was going to say how apropos.
So that was my conception.
And they are your original, as I call my parents, they are my original executive producers.
Exactly.
Literally.
My father always blames me for getting them together. He said that I was plotting my own creation. And it was all my fault. So I'll take the credit.
That's it. There's another great shot.
I have that dress in my closet. That's another dress that came back to me.
Oh, do you really? Wow.
It's purple. Can't tell in this picture. Obviously, it's black and white, but it's the most gorgeous shade of purple. Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Beautiful. Here's another shot.
Sweet Bird of Youth, the film version.
Yeah. Really, really nice. And then too, here's you're in this dress of fire.
Oh, Austin Pendleton.
He was a guest on our show, I'd say in the summer. He's amazing, isn't he?
Yeah. Next time he's on, please give him my love.
I will. Absolutely. Absolutely. What a wonderful conversation.
Thank you, Crystal.
Beautiful photos. Thank you for sharing your memories. Mona is saying those photos are so sweet.
Yeah.
Beautiful pictures of everyone. I agree. Maureen had said that the photo of you with your mother, her holding you as a baby, melts her heart.
Oh.
I like this shot. I showed this earlier. This is a cool shot. Yeah.
This is the poster from when I did both the Sylvia Plath piece and playing my mom in New Zealand.
Yeah.
And so it's me and Sylvia on the top, and actually my mom as my mom on the bottom. But look how much we look alike. It's really interesting.
It really is.
But I love this red slash between it. It's very dramatic.
Another cool shot here.
What's this?
Yeah. I see. It looks like Richard Dreyfuss.
It's Richard Dreyfuss. I know I was in this show, but I don't think I'm in this picture, though.
Dreyfuss, and who's on the left there?
Marcia Gay Harding.
Okay, right.
Yeah, I was in an episode of this show, but I don't think I'm in this picture.
Education of
Max
Bickford, right.
Yeah, which of the blondes is supposed to be me? Do we know? Is there a caption?
No, it just says the title of the education of Max Bickford.
Yeah, I was in one episode, but I don't think I'm in. I don't think either one of those blondes is me.
Do you remember what you played, what the role was?
I don't remember the name, but I know that I was playing Marcia Gay Harding's old college roommate. I loved the costumer, and the costumes were great. I got to keep some of them. Marcia Gay Harding was super fun. I didn't get to work with Richard Dreyfuss. He was only on set for a moment.
Amazing. Here's The Contender. What was it like being involved in that project? Jeff Bridges, Joan Allen. I mean, somebody amazing. Christian Slater.
Christian Slater, I knew from, I think that's how I got this role. I think it was through Christian. Christian Slater was inside man for a time. And his mom is a casting director, and I think she cast this. And so he was in it, and Rod Laurie's the director, who I ended up working with quite a few times after this. I think this was the first thing we worked on. And Gary Oldman and I shared a makeup trailer one morning. That was amazing.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
So,
did you like being involved in a thriller as well?
I did, as long as it's not my own life.
Yeah. And of course, you mentioned Lucky Days too, and there you were really involved in direction and so much more.
Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's on IMDb, it says I'm a director because of that co-directing this one thing, but
right.
It's just not, like I said, I don't want to tell actors what to do. I like to
Right.
cast. I can cast as a producer, and then I don't have to actually tell them what to do after I cast them.
Right.
Because I want to trust them,
Because you want to trust them.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. Here's another one. You were never
You were
here.
never here. Yeah, I had a scene
Uh-huh.
with Sam Shepard right before he passed away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just had a little. I forgot about that one because I
Yeah.
had just one scene.
And that's what happens to you in so many incredible things. Of course, vagina
Oh, the
monologues.
vagina
Yeah. Tell us about
monologues.
being
That
involved
was
in that.
amazing. I was with Erica Jong and Lauren Velez. That was my team. It was the original production that was in New York off Broadway,
Mm-hmm.
and it was super magical. It was, it was wonderful. It was very empowering.
How long were you in it? How long was the run for
They
you?
did. It was like 3 weeks.
3 weeks. Yeah.
They kind of circled everyone in New York through those doors and onto the stage for a few weeks. I think it was a 3-week cycle. It seemed much longer.
Yeah.
Because it was just such a landmark production and
Very intense.
so thrilling to have to talk about vaginas for the first time, kind of like ever. So, and then I was asked to do we did a big version of it at Madison Square Garden, which was a one-off I think it was Valentine's Day. I can't remember what year it was, but there were Queen Latifah waiting online to make a. There were a lot of us in it. I remember Callista Flockhart. It was kind of crazy.
Oh yeah.
Did we lose me? Oh, there I am.
Yep,
Callista Flockhart. And who else? I know Oprah Winfrey had just written one of the monologues. I don't know. It was amazing to be on stage with so many brilliant, powerful women.
Oh yeah. Here's another great
We're
shot.
back at psychotherapy.
Yes.
With my blonde gay leading man in the middle, Larry Law, to the right.
Yes. Who played Jamie Frame for years on Another World.
And he was also on tour with me in August Osage County.
Oh boy, yeah. It's cool sometimes also when you get a chance to work with people again that you had an opportunity to work with before. I think that's a cool thing when that happens. Here's a great shot. This is Turning Page.
That was opening night.
Now, was that still going when COVID hit, or did it have its run and then that's that?
It had its run. I popped it up in different places over the years and continued to work on it until I felt that I could lock the script, which I did. And it was really like the whole idea was to put it up and run it in a big way for my mom's centennial. So all this leading up to now has been workshopping it and off Broadway and off Broadway, and just honing it to kind of work out all the kinks and really take my time with it and really enjoy it. And it's gotten some really great press and some beautiful reviews. And I was about to start scheduling the tour, the pre-Broadway tour, and COVID hit. So I'm just going to wait until people actually know. But I have heard that one-person shows are the first things that are really going to be popped back up.
That makes sense. That makes total sense. How long is the actual show itself? I want to make sure I come see it.
How long is that? The running time of it? Or
yeah.
The running time is about 85 minutes.
Well, that's good. Yeah, that's just about right? To be able to really tell the story. And it reminds me of little bit, and it's great, I think, when sometimes you're able to do that and look back. When Chris Lemmon did the one-man play or the one-man show celebrating his dad, Jack Lemmon, and he called, I love the way you call it, Turning Page, and his was A Twist of Lemon.
Nice. That's awesome. I
Yeah.
love that title.
It's perfect. A twist of Lemon, Chris Lemon, Jack Lemon, one of my favorite actors too, to be able to do that. And what was the feedback from people? You were saying some really great feedback for that show, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marty Landau, who knew my mother quite well in the 50s and 60s, just held me in his arms with tears in his eyes. And he said, thank you for bringing her back to me.
Yeah. What was it like playing her?
Fun.
Does it bring you closer to her? Did you learn things about her and doing research? What's that
Yeah,
experience
always.
like?
I'm never not learning things about her.
Yeah.
And also recently, some of the items that came back to me are diaries that she kept for different productions that she worked on. Just reading about performances day to day and how much they changed, and also how passionate she is or was about everything she observed. Yeah, I mean, I can't point to anything specifically that I learned, because the overall wash of who she was, or her soul essence hasn't changed for me at all. It's just details, learning more details. It's like the same color, but just like a deeper hue, if that makes sense.
The lighting, the way it's changed on you is
I
really
know.
amazing. I think it's amazing.
It's sunset over here.
Yeah, it's like it's transformed into this evening sort of look.
I
It's
know.
really-
Is it? Do we need
it's
more
amazing.
light?
No, I think you look great.
Okay.
No, it looks terrific. The sparkle is the sparkle, and I think it looks amazing. It just sort of transformed.
I know. Now it's just like black in the background.
It's like very evening.
And
now.
I also have two lights. So let's look. I have the cool one, and I have this is the cool one.
Cool
and
one.
This is the warmer one, or is it? No, this is the warmer one, and this is the cooler one. I don't know.
What do you like? Do you want to take a look?
Oh, there's three. Wait a minute. Oh, there's one that's mixed. So this is let's see. This is the cool one. This is the warm one. This is the mixed. Let's do the mixed.
The mix gives it a little.
I think that's the one I had before. Yeah.
Very nice.
I need a haircut.
Have you had one since COVID, or?
I've had one.
You've had one. Wow.
Yeah. So I'm taking a trip at the end of the month, and I'm going to see my hairdresser in New York, and my daughter is my colorist in Soho, and they're both going to see me. So I'm going to have new hair soon.
My salon actually had called, I think it was back in April. No, back in, I'd say June, and said, Jim, do you still love us? Because I haven't had it cut during all of this. And usually, I'd be on TV shoots, or I was supposed to be in Ireland, Texas, and Florida on TV shoots. And of course, all the planes stopped and everything. So I've just been, now it's this challenge. And I mentioned it on the air a couple of times. The year point will be, I think, the end of April from when I got it cut last. So it hasn't been cut since then.
Wow.
And if I take the hat off,
how long is it?
It comes down to here.
Really?
It's shoulder length. Yeah.
Wow.
It actually comes down to the shoulders.
You can tell my hair was super short because this is long for me. But then, of course, I have pieces and wigs and
can do extensions and all kinds of different things.
Yeah, I have hair down to my waist half the time. So,
what is there when you look at the body of work, the experiences you've had and continue to have, which are quite amazing and unique, and a blessing and a joy in so many different ways, and having a wonderful family and a comfortable home, and still being able to balance family with performing and traveling when you're able to do that. What are some of those joys and blessings and inspirations that you look to and that have always carried you through all of the ups and downs and craziness of life and of Hollywood and just all of it?
Well, good friends, relationships with good friends and people who make you laugh, and people who you really feel in, in the core of your being and in your gut, like, you can trust them. And a lot of times it takes a while to get to that place with people. Sometimes it's instantaneous, and then, you keep it. I always find that when I have a red flag about someone, when I first meet them, it doesn't really tend to go away. So I've been learning to
Very
really,
intuitive. Yeah.
to really like trust that. But I have friends that I don't always keep in touch with all the time, but I have friends from 30 and 40 years ago who I'm still friends with. And just to know, even if you don't get to talk to people all the time, just to know, like in your heart, that you have people that care about you, who love you, who are rooting for you. I find I wasn't a big social media person before COVID, but I am on a little bit more now, just because the connectivity is so helpful. To be, to keep getting messages from people that, encouraging, lovely messages. And I'm fortunate, and I don't know if it might be by design, because I'm really strict with the way my pages are curated, and I don't allow for any negative feedback.
I'm that way. Yeah.
So
exactly.
there was a woman on my mom's page who was really mean and really nasty to me. And then I was like, oh, I didn't, I'm sorry that you don't want to see me, but you only want to see you don't want to see my effing face, but you just want to see my mother's. So I was like, there's plenty, you can go online and see all you want, but this is my page. And so some of the stuff's, there's going to be some crossover.
Sure.
And sometimes it's me talking about my mom because it's my page. But I didn't even say that. I was just like, oh, I'm sorry that it's upsetting you that I'm on page. But then she said something.
She's your mother too.
I know. But I didn't even block her.
No.
First of all, we weren't friends. She's, and it's a public page, so she just go on it. I think that's the way it works. But then she was really rude to somebody else on the page. And I said, this isn't the first time that you've been rude, and that's not allowed. It's not allowed. But I'm lucky because I don't really I mostly get really, really sweet, good, nice, honest, loving messages and feedback. And I'm not sure if that's because that's what maybe it's like attracts like, and that's what I'm putting out. And maybe it's because I'm setting the vibe.
Positive energy, right?
I think so. But there was one on my personal page. There was somebody, I guess it was a public post that I made. And they wrote something so mean, and it wasn't one of my friends. And also I do sometimes accept friendships from people I don't know. I've been doing that a lot less, mainly because there's a cap, the 5,000 cap on Facebook.
Right. Right.
But if someone, at one point I had to post like my rules of engagement, but also it's like weird when people use it, like guys will try to who I don't know, or try to like using it like a single. I'm like, this is not a singles bar. And leave my girlfriends alone. But and then I'm like, I'm married, and then like someone will write back happily, and like.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, but this one woman, she was really, really mean, and so I just erased the comment, and then I blocked her. But I've been really fortunate, and it's been really kind of nice, to stay in touch with everyone. But I think it's relationships, that's the thing that always keeps me going.
Was there ever any? I know sometimes I have a few friends whose parents are in the music industry, television, film. And sometimes there is this thought of having to, especially when you're a kid or a teenager or just coming up, living in the shadows of the beloved mother, the beloved father, these iconic people in the eyes of society. Was there ever any struggle for you in not living up to their ideals or what people thought of them, but just in any sort of a shadow of what they cast just by the work and careers that they chose to do and do so well?
No, I keep hearing about the shadow, and I keep hearing about the big shoes. You know, people are like, "Oh, those are some big shoes to fill," and I'm like, I don't know, like,
It's your mother and father. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know, like
Mom and dad. Yeah.
we're different people, so sure, like, I don't like. I've never tried to live up to or like do more than like if I try to do more than either one of my parents, I just never do anything else. That sounds exhausting. Like I like to relax. I have, it's really interesting, done a lot
You
in
have.
my career, but I don't feel like I have because compared to my parents, it's a lot. I don't know. It just doesn't seem. I don't have that. Also, that kind of. I don't. You know, I achieved so much more than I ever expected.
Right.
I'm super satisfied and not needing to produce things just to produce things or to be
And
out there just to
top
stay
end
relevant or
or
whatever it
right.
is. Like I want to live my life in a really beautiful way
Right.
and have relationships that are meaningful and um, always keep an eye on what's healthiest, like the healing
Yeah.
modalities and just the miraculous way that nature and our bodies can heal themselves and how love really does cut through everything if we can just, you know, keep that in our sights. And so, yeah, I've never felt competitive. I don't know if that's what you mean is like competitive with my parents, but I never felt like I had to. Both of my parents were so proud of me, and my father was such a huge champion of mine. So I always felt uh, seen and respected and loved and honored. So yeah, like I said, I keep hearing about the big shoes, but I've never had to. I never felt like I had to step into them.
I love that. I love that.
I've got my
Um,
own shoes.
you've got your own shoes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Is when you look forward, are there things that you want to do and areas that you want to pursue, not necessarily even in the field of entertainment, that are still beckoning you and calling your name, Angelica?
Yeah. Well, I speaking of healing, I've always loved taking care of people in a sense of feeding them and creating environments that are healing and restful and creative. So I have this, I've been wanting to, and I don't know, it's kind of like a retirement dream. Like one day but I would love to create a retreat center for not only artists, like quote unquote artists, because I think everyone is an artist and everyone is a creative. It just, some people call themselves that. Some people make money in the arts, quote unquote, the arts. But we're all we are is creative. That's all that humans are. We create everything. Like it, like everything in our life we've created. Um, so yeah, I would love to create some kind of space I for people to like a retreat center for healing.
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Because
so we can
you're
all just like relax. You know what I
right.
mean? Like take
Right.
a breath, stop, and just figure out. And I think that the whole COVID experience has really brought that to the forefront for me because I've really appreciated how much time we've all had to stop for a moment and really think about how we want to spend our time. And I'm really interested in. I've done so much research in different healing modalities
Holidays, right.
um, and have the most incredible people that I've gathered, facilitators in different modalities, and it's just like putting them together and vouching for
Yeah.
different doctors and yeah, I just got a really great team of people that I've been working with, and I'd like to share them with a
It's
wider
so good to
audience.
have that, because it's
Yeah.
it's it's a wonderful balance too, especially, being in Tinseltown where everything, is created and there's
I
sets and
know,
people.
but
It's
also it's
it's
like people are like,
beautiful.
pretending that things are more important than they are, and the ego driven, like I don't
It doesn't seem like
get
that
it.
ever you've ever bought into any of that. Yeah,
It just seems like
you're very lucky.
it seems like a terrible idea, and it seems like um, just a recipe for disaster.
Yeah,
To
yeah.
want to be the center of attention all the time and be like number one. What? Like, you can't be number one forever because there's 7 billion people on the planet, and everyone deserves to have what? Like, I don't know. And also, I don't want to be like in some. It's just the whole thing. I love to create art. I love the experience of performing. I love the experience of telling stories. But I can live without it. You know what I mean? I can live with not being on stage. I'm perfectly happy not doing it. Though I really do enjoy it, and I really do love it. And there are people that really enjoy me doing it. So I'll probably keep doing it because of that reason. But yeah, I just really am looking forward to the. So I'm 50. I just turned 57, and I think I'm going to live to 104. So I have like almost my next half of my life, like a little bit less. But let's say at least a few decades, right?
Yeah.
I'm really interested in figuring out a way to become a really healthy octogenarian and keep my spine healthy, so I'm not like walking like with a cane, and figuring out learning about what's the best anti-inflammatory diets, and yeah, like I'm really interested in longevity and figuring out ways to become an old lady and be okay with it, like be healthy through it and be able to be walking on my own 2 feet and taking care of myself. I already told my kids that they're not ever going to have to take care of me, so hopefully I can keep that promise. But I'm just really excited. I think I still have a lot of time to explore the world, and I'm really excited to see what other things in life I enjoy as much as being on stage.
Well, you really are a delight, and your
Thanks.
performances are truly, thank you. And your performances are extraordinary. And, the way you, a couple of people have noticed, the way you graciously pay homage to those who came before, whether it's in the industry, your parents, those you've worked with, as well as the fact that you maintain, a wonderful family atmosphere, and that you're true. One of the things
I don't get along with my whole family, by the way. We take
no, sure. There's a few. There's always a few that are in every family. There's always one or two that are like.
But Meghan Markle, I'm like, I know, honey, I know. It's not that it's like obviously not on that scale, but there's stuff in every So, but I do try, and when I can't get along, when I try not to air it publicly too much.
If it was on that scale, you'd have to announce a pregnancy right now.
Oh, I know. It's secret.
She'll be back.
But I'm writing this book about my parents and growing up with my family and stuff, and it's really tempting to talk about some stuff because it's super juicy and it's outrageous, and it's like, well, I could really sell some, you could really but why do you need to sell that many books? So it, and also why embarrass somebody if you don't have to? So I'm really interested in, not saying a lot. And also while I'm writing this book, being really careful to not sugarcoat and not to pretend things didn't happen.
Sure.
It happened, but find sensitive ways to deal with it. And in terms of I love to create an amazing family atmosphere. And when I'm not, and when I'm at odds with other people in my family, time out is the way to go. It's I love you from afar. I can't love you up close right now. Right. Because I get too triggered, and then I get and then the stories unfold, and it's not healthy for anyone. So taking time out and understanding that just because you have a story and the other person, I have a person in my family who I was talking about something that really, really upset me in the past and created an estrangement between us. And we just recently tried to be in a active relationship again. So I really had to talk. Like I started seeing patterns popping up again, and I talked about why the estrangement for me happened in the beginning. And this person said, "I remember the exact opposite." That's the quote. I remember the exact opposite. So when I was watching this Oprah Winfrey Meghan Markle interview, it was so interesting because they were saying, "You made Kate cry," and she was like, "The opposite happened. It was the opposite." So I was like, so interesting how I think that happens a lot with people and with families and with humans, that we live in this dualistic world where we have villains and heroes and right and wrong and white and black. And it's I'm really curious also as a storyteller as to how realities can exist, people's truths can exist at the same time. I find that one to be one of the most fascinating puzzles on this planet. So in terms of keeping a really beautiful family life, I do try to just have really strong boundaries and some strict rules. And if things, if it's not happening right now with certain relationships, to take a break and to love from afar until you can love up close.
Absolutely. Beautifully said. I like that.
I don't like to fight because I just hurt people. I don't want to hurt people.
Right. Exactly. Right. Exactly. And there's enough of that out there in the world. And that's why we have all the lovity on the Jim Masters show. Lovity. And everybody's been saying, she's a lovity now. You're now a lovity. She's a lovity.
Totally
she's
a
lovity.
Yeah, for sure.
So, like I was saying, there's Oscars, Tellys, Peabodys, Emmys, Grammys, Tonys. But when you get a lovity from the Jim Masters show live, doesn't it make your feet tingle?
Yes, actually. My right foot is tingling.
Right. What would you say to somebody? I mean, you've had exposure to this industry for a long time and you've seen all sides of it. Like you said, there's the stories you could tell could be in a book. What would you say to somebody watching live right now? Or
and they're going to be in a book. Not all of them, but yeah. So what?
So when that book comes out, we'll have her back.
Yeah.
Somebody that
you'll be like, who was that? I'll be like, not telling.
Somebody that is watching this live right now or later in the archives on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV, who's considering going into the industry, going into this day and age now, going into performance, entertainment, acting, whatever it may be, the arts in this way. What pieces of advice would you give them? And have you ever done any and thought of doing mentoring, teaching others along the way?
Yeah, I have taught and I have mentored. What I like to do is give people tools right away so that they can graduate from my care as quickly as possible. So usually I do sessions, like I could only call it an acting class, but what I like to do is teach people how to manifest the career that they want, or the expression of artistry that they're seeking, how to self-generate it. So I try to teach that as early on, as quickly as possible, so that I can kind of push them out of the nest and have them fly, and not have them keep coming back. I found that some teachers I have discovered in the past hobble you or cripple you so that you can never leave. And that's an experience that I survived. But so one of the biggest pieces of advice is to protect yourself. But before and after you protect yourself is to really figure out why you want to do it. So if you want to do it because you want to be famous, because you want to make a lot of money, or you want people to, you like how people are treating you when you're famous, and that's not the right reason to do it. So if it's because you have something that you want to give, something you want to share, somehow you want to serve the world by sharing what it is, what your voice is, then that's a good reason to go into this business. But it's not about what you can get, it's about what you can give.
That is so beautifully said and so perfectly said, because a lot of people do look at or get hung up on
Hey,
just
look,
the
listen, the
glamour
perks are
and
amazing. Look at the sparkles. I mean, but the
very
thing is,
nice.
you can just get a shirt at Zara and sparkle. You don't have to, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right,
it's
right.
about creating the things out of nothing, but also not being attached to um, what the perks are, because that can be one of the biggest traps on the
Mhm.
planet. So, you
And you have
know,
to love it, right? You got to really love it, because there's blood,
yeah,
sweat, and tears, and sacrifice, and rejection, and disappointment. As much as there are accomplishments and rewards, there it's a lot of. It takes a
it's a lot.
lot.
It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot of work.
Yeah, takes a lot out of you in many ways. So you got to
It's a
be.
lot of work to make it look like it's not any work.
We talk about that often. That's the
Yeah.
key, is to make it look effortless and
Mhm.
automatic, and that was
Yeah.
supposed to happen. And everybody says, "Oh, you look so calm, you look so smooth." Inside, the adrenaline is flowing, and it's like a sport, and you're going at 100 miles an hour in your side. But the key is to make it all look cohesive and smooth, and that's an art unto itself. And to be able to jump and pivot and be there when they need you, and create your
Got to
own things
juggle
like
the
you have.
plates. Got to
Juggle
juggle the
things.
plates.
And create like you have too. Create sometimes your own thing. Do the things that are out there that are available, but also create your own, like you did with the one woman show. I mean, create
If
your
I
own
told
things.
you the things that the people that tried to stop me from doing my show about my mom and the
Really?
things
Yeah.
that were said to me, I mean, I wasn't gonna. I, it wasn't nice try, right? It's not gonna work on me. But I just was thinking, like, what would happen if someone said this to somebody, a young actor who didn't know any better? It's really it's diabolical.
They would have just
So
stopped in their tracks. Right. Exactly.
it was it was tough for me to get through it, but you can't. Yeah,
Is is the quiet, shy little girl still always a part of you? Is she still inside you?
yeah, but not so shy, not
Yeah.
so shy anymore.
Yeah.
I've had to survive, so that wasn't really gonna. It wasn't gonna work for much longer.
You've had to survive. Right. Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
But you,
Gotta
but
get
you,
out. You gotta get out there. We all gotta get out there, and we gotta make new connections and take a risk.
well, like Mona says, beautiful inside and out,
Oh, thank you.
and great show tonight. So nice to meet you.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I mean, you've been able to maintain the authenticity and the essence of who you are through all of it. You didn't sell out. You didn't flip out. I mean,
I
you
think I
still,
tried to sell out when I was younger,
yeah.
but nobody, it's like that. I think it's a Tom Stoppard play.
And you
There's
know
some
what it is?
play,
You're
there's
so
some,
honest too. I love your
yeah,
honesty
there's
too.
some play. Oh, I know who it is. It's this play. I just saw it at the public pre-COVID. Estelle Parsons was in it. Tony Kushner, takes place in Germany. Can't remember the name of it. I did a reading of it years ago, and I played this German actress who was like kind of like a Marlene Dietrich, and she's like working for the Nazis, and she wants, I don't know what she wants, but she's like, she says something, but she tried to sell her soul to the devil, but he wasn't interested. And I wouldn't say that I went that far. Like, I wasn't trying to sell my soul to the devil or anything like that. But wasn't opposed to selling out if it, you know what I mean? I wasn't just gonna I was like, well, what, well, what are the terms?
Right.
Like, right. Because I don't know, like some people would say doing a soap opera is selling out. Like, who knows? Like a lot of people have very different. The one thing is I've never done anything I didn't want to do. And
Right.
I think that's what it
That's,
means, is that you're doing something you don't want to do. I did one job just for the money. And it was one episode of something that was, actually, I think it was already off the air, but they were still had to shoot out the contract. It was something weird. It was a TV show, and it was one episode, and it was like Christmas time, and I needed Christmas cash, and so I did it. And it was like I literally couldn't remember my lines. Like, it just was so antithetical to who I am and how I work and what. Oh, I literally, like, my brain just went, like, I literally, like, they would say action, and I would look into the actress's eyes, and the actress who they had playing the lead was definitely like the quintessential sellout
Yeah.
example,
Right.
and was doing it for all the wrong reasons. Very, very pretty, but like nothing there.
Yeah.
And no respect for the art either. You can tell, it's just like someone who's kind of like, I don't know. I don't want to get any further into like my ideas about what was driving this person. But I would look into her eyes and my mind would go blank and I couldn't remember my lines. It was the weirdest experience. But that was my one.
That would be the
one when I tried to do something that I didn't want to do for money. It was like literally the longest week of my life.
It was a live and learn situation too, right? You learn.
Yeah, and it wasn't even yeah, it was. I'll never do that
again. You heard it here, folks, on the Jim Master Show live.
Nobody has that much to pay me.
No.
I'd be curious to find out what I always hear that people have a price, like what's your price, but I don't think so far I haven't found one. So.
Right. That's amazing. You're amazing too, Angelica. Hey. This was really fantastic.
Really nice to talk to you.
You as well. And you are definitely welcome back anytime.
Oh, great.
And,
I'll be blonder. I think I'll go back to that really super blonde soon.
You will be in that same chair as well? They'll look for that nice chair,
Maybe. So I could do that. If I'm blonder, I'll go super blonde. I can do that look that you liked with the orange.
Yeah. They said that the chair looks like you're sitting on Cookie Monster from Sesame Street.
Yeah, it's a little bluer, but yeah, I can see how people would think that.
So anybody in the family that wants to?
Oh wait, Cookie Monster was blue. I'm thinking about
Cookie Monster was blue.
I'm thinking about Oscar is green.
Oscar is green.
This is totally Cookie Monster.
Yes.
What was your question?
Anybody else in the family that kids otherwise that are pursuing entertainment, acting, performance?
No, both my kids I have a boy and a girl. They're grown. They're both brilliant. My son made so-called Well cry when he was 9, doing a play that he was reading for Michael Mayer up at Vassar Powerhouse. And I've been trying ever since to get him to be an actor. And he looks just like my father when my father was like 33. I mean, it's just like, just do it. Like Rib's dead. You could like take that slot. Like nobody can do what he was doing. And my son is like scary good, right? And I was like, you made So Well cry when you were 9 years old. And you know what he said to me? Who's So Caldwell? So I was like, I gave up. And my daughter's a hairdresser. My son's into IT stuff. And they seem, really busy doing that. And so I don't think they're going to be changing their mind anytime soon.
They're happy, they're content, and they're enjoying their life. And
and also there's, the showbiz stuff, when you're on the inside of it, it can be a cautionary tale.
Absolutely. Maureen says your strength and confidence are inspiring.
Yay, good. I'm glad.
Absolutely.
My
and
pleasure.
June, of
Thank
course,
you.
our wonderful June says,
Hi,
wonderful
June.
night.
Thank you so much for putting this together.
Kathleen,
For putting us together.
Thanks for connecting us, June. We appreciate that. We love you, June. I hope to see you soon, June. I miss you. You got to hug and go to dinner soon.
Yeah.
And if I'm out on a TV shoot in LA or you're back east, I'd love to break bread and say hello as well.
Fantastic. Yeah. And also next year, 2024, in November of 2024, we plan to be at Yale. That's the only date. I'm kind of working backwards with my mom's tour. I know we're going to end at Yale for my
You had
mom's
mentioned that,
the
right?
actual centennial, the actual November 22nd, 2024 will be the 100th. Yeah.
Keep me posted on all of that. Yeah. Keep me posted. Welcome and love you. Mona says, love that sparkle shirt. Looks great.
I know. Isn't it fun? And it's really good that I have it in the dark.
I was going to say right now, it's very
it's really helpful.
It's turned on to from the afternoon look to the evening look. But look at this shot. You had sent this along. This is really stunning. I think I mentioned it in the email. That's a great shot.
My headshot.
Yeah. That's a great shot. Great
it is.
photographer. They caught
Mhm.
something. You know what it is when you capture the eyes, you've captured it all.
Mm,
Yeah. Was that for
yeah,
something specific
no,
or is
that was for headshots.
just for the headshots? Yeah.
Arman Asadorian out here in LA. He's my favorite out here.
Really? Yeah.
Really reasonable, really fast. In Studio City, I think.
Studio City.
Yeah. I don't know if he's still there, but that's where he was. Yeah.
Nicely done. Nicely done. Well, my friend, this was really fantastic. I appreciate all of the time and inspiring conversation. And we got into some really good, again, I do it. People say, oh, there are questions in advance. Is there teleprompter script? I said it's conversation. It's warm. It's welcoming. It's freestyle like the old school talk shows used to do, maybe with a modern twist. And we go wherever we go. And hopefully, you experience some of the levity and you have a good time with us. And I hope the show met whatever expectations you had and you enjoyed the time with me as much as I felt
Absolutely.
with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. Really nice to connect.
You are very welcome. Linda says, thank you, Angelica, for sharing your life.
Sure. Thank you.
All of us. It was amazing. I toast you, and it was a pleasure. And let's stay in touch.
I have something?
You have something there?
I thought I might have some. No, I have nothing to toast you with, but that's okay. I will toast you with mine.
We got on the air. You got the headphones. I mean, it all worked out, right? We're professionals. You just keep going and you make it happen, right?
Say it again.
I was going to say, you were able to. The main thing, you don't have to have something to toast with. We got you on the air. You got on the air, and you made it happen. And we're professionals. Right. You just keep going, and we make it happen.
I know. We just figured it out. I was like, okay, and then the phone wouldn't work. I don't know. Yeah. I love troubleshooting.
Yeah.
And I love figuring stuff out and calmly just like working
just through
it until so not giving up. So it was fun to do that with you.
Well, that's what I tell people when we've gotten lost in vehicles driving, and people are panicking in the car. I'm a Libra, so I'm about balance and harmony. Mm-hmm. So I'm a unifier too. I don't go towards this extreme or this extreme. I like to bring people together, empathetic, compassionate way. And when people are freaking out in the car, when we may be lost, I say, shh, calm down. You don't want to get the driver all worked up because then we don't get anywhere. And if you, right. Like you say, if you take enough left-hand turns and enough right-hand turns, you end up getting out of whatever it is. So no need to panic. There's many other things in life to panic about. You don't need to panic. You just put it together and it all works out in the end. But this was a blessing, and good old George Burns certainly had a wonderful time this evening. There he is with a cigar.
Amazing.
Gotta have levity. Angelica, thank you very much. This was really terrific. You stay well.
Okay, you too.
Go stretch those legs.
I know. I'm gonna do some yoga.
Go do some yoga.
In all my spare time.
That yoga and meditation. Do you meditate?
I do.
Yeah, very important.
I'm actually working with Deepak Chopra for many years, and I'm actually thinking about.
He's amazing.
Yeah, he is.
I've interviewed him on PBS. He's amazing.
I love him, and that form of meditation is the only one that I've really been able to do consistently. It's a form of it's kind of grew out of TM, but it's called primordial sound meditation, and I've actually been training with inside of his educational program to become a meditation instructor using his system, so that at my retreat I can offer it when I finally get my retreat together.
That's going to be amazing. That's going to be absolutely amazing. And you have his latest book, Meta Human, right?
I do. I love Meta Human. There's also a podcast on Spotify where he speaks quite a bit about it. And that is an incredible book. And it's so helpful. And just to even realize that we can, as a species, take this next leap together. And it's within our grasp. And it's not that hard. We just have to do it. So
that's right. Exactly right. Absolutely. And we certainly did part of it tonight. That's for sure. Yeah. And lovely style. All right, my friend. This was beautiful. Thanks for joining us. You be well. Bye. Stay healthy.
Okay, you too. Yeah.
We'll see you again soon, okay?
Okay.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
The wonderful Angelica Page. Wasn't she delightful? And we had so much fun with her, and very interesting when we were putting it all together with the headphones and all. And that's what it's all about, you know. You just take the lemon and turn it into lemonade, and you go forward. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope maybe perhaps you had an opportunity to learn something new about Angelica and her extraordinary career in film and stage and television and so much more. Again, she's been in so many movies and incredible stage productions and television shows. We didn't talk about it, but she was also in episodes of Law and Order as well. Of course, you know Law and Order. I was in an episode of Law and Order as well. I played a court officer in Law and Order. Really, really cool. But she was in Law and Order as well as some of these other, As the World Turns, a soap opera, and so many other productions, and again, movies and shows and plays, and just some really, really cool things. And you could see it all, you know, online and everywhere. Her father, of course, legendary actor Rip Torn, her mother and father, Rip Torn and Geraldine Page, Hollywood legends. And we talked about them and their lives during the course of the conversation as well. And beautiful shot of her mother and her. And again, she did the one woman show as well, paying homage to her mother. She also had the wonderful memorial for her father. There's her mother, Geraldine Page, as well. Beautiful shot of Angelica there. And again, she was talking about everybody that's in this shot. Unbelievable. Candice Bergen in the middle there, and Jason Priestley. And she's had an opportunity to work with so many great people, but you can tell she's grounded. She has a certain salt of the earth sensibility too, growing up in the environment of Hollywood, Tinseltown, but still being grounded and rooted in the things that matter in life. And there she is doing the one woman show, celebrating her mother's life, Turning Page, which she again will probably maybe have continue once COVID is sort of calmed down. There's Geraldine Page and legendary actor Rip Torn, and two Hollywood legends there, her mother and father, which she talked about. And again, you know, for her, oftentimes people, I have other friends who are in, their parents are famous musical legends, performers, and others in television and film. And there's even some in the family here. And it's interesting because they see them as their parents. Everybody else sees them as legends and stars, and then they are in their own right. But then when you come home, they are your mother and your father. And there's dinner and laundry to be done, you know, all the different things that that happen. So again, she has celebrated them in an interesting way as well, and beautiful way, while being authentic and real about it too, not you know, glamorizing anything. Mona in Louisiana, USA says, thanks for tonight, Jim. Truly enjoyed the show tonight. Sending her hugs and love to all. Hope all have a great, lovely night. Yes, this was amazing. If you missed any of it, it was funny in the beginning because we were getting a feedback echo sound, and that's because she didn't have the headphones on. So she scrambled to get the headphones, but then it wasn't working with her computer. Then she went to try her phone, and it wasn't working with the system. Then she had to, I think it was, went into her son's room, I think, and he knew what to do and lent the headphones from one of his iPod or game or something to get her through it all, which I think is amazing. And he took care of it, and then she was able to connect. But it was funny. We got to see the chair that she was sitting in. I know a lot of you love to see the guest's chair, and it was this really fuzzy chair, and she sort of panned the camera, and you saw the inside of the house a little bit, and you saw the chaise lounge that matched. But the bottom line, it was wonderful having her here on the show. Good night, June. Love you too. And Maureen says it's been fun. Angelica, keep shining. I appreciate that. Thank you, Angelica, for sharing your life with all of us. And again, that's her mother, Geraldine Page, and that's her father, legendary actor Rip Torn as well. And there she is at the Tony Awards, and she had these great stories about a lot of these photos and so much more. I mean, she's done much more than what we've scratched the surface of here. And then she had some wonderful stories about her mother, Geraldine Page, legendary actress, and these incredible shots as well. And that cute story she had about all the different glasses that her mother. It's almost like today that would be Warby Parker, where they send you a bunch of frames you can try out. She was already ahead of the game, Geraldine Page, trying out all the different glasses, and she enjoyed the glasses as well. But terrific actress, coming from a legendary Hollywood family, yet carved her own path. Wasn't destined to be an actress, director, producer, screenwriter, or even go into the industry, as she said to all of us. It wasn't something as a kid that she dreamed of doing. But her mother asked her if she would, and she tested the waters, and she's built a wonderful career. And it was a pleasure having her as our special guest here. Thank you, Mr. Leverty, for another great show, sending lots of love and hugs to all the Levertys. Yeah, it was amazing chatting with Angelica Page. I was always very fond of her work and familiar with her work on stage, on television, and film. And of course, her parents, the Hollywood legends. She's got an amazing career that continues, Angelica. And her parents, of course, have had great careers, Rip Torn and Geraldine Page. Christine says, hello and good night. So, Jim, I missed the first half, so I'll watch in the archives. Looks like another great show. Angelica, multi-talented. Happy National Meatball Day to all. Yes, it was a lot of fun in the beginning, Christine. A lot of laughs in the beginning. And we also had a wonderful video that we showed as well. And we will show that. Maybe I'll show it again. I'll show it one more time for anybody that missed it. You'll see it in the beginning. If you watch the show again, you'll see it in the beginning. But this is a video that it's a short video about Angelica that she had put together exclusively for the Jim Master Show Live.
My name is Angelica Page. I'm an actress who has worked in the industry for 30 years. And while I really enjoy television and film, theater is my true love. The first play I starred in on Broadway was Sideman by Warren Leight, which won the Tony Award for Best Play. During my career, I've had the great good fortune to play spectacular women in history. Madame Curie, Sylvia Plath, Emily Dickinson, Lana Turner. Now, the most challenging and interesting role to date, my own mother, Geraldine Page.
But the thing that your mother said to me was she'd like you to write it. You're the one that understands me. You're the one that knew me. You're the one that was there. Heard you say,
really amazing, really, really cool. And again, there was a little video. That was a little preview, actually, of that show that she had put together, the one-woman show, Turning Page, celebrating the life of her mother and taking on the role of her mother, Geraldine Page, on stage as well. This was amazing. Tomorrow night, we have an absolutely amazing guest tomorrow. I was going to say another amazing guest. Ned Massey is here. And he's going to sing live. He's a wonderful singer and entertainer, performer, and actor, and so much more. And he's been in so many incredible performances, and he's just a fantastic singer. He's going to sing live tomorrow. Join us then. Incredible performer and producer, DJ Bucchiarelli is going to be with us on Thursday. That's right. That's right. And then coming up on Friday, we've got a brilliant actor, Michael Simon Hall. He's going to be with us on Friday. It's going to be amazing. It's really going to be amazing. On Sunday, Stephen Taibbi is going to be with us. He's an author, and he has this incredible book. You can see it on our YouTube channel. You can see the preview here on our YouTube channel of our very, very special guest on Sunday, Stephen Taibbi. He's a brilliant author, but his book and his tale about his life is incredibly inspiring. It involves a health concern and so much more, and family. I think you're really going to enjoy it. It's something very special, very inspiring, very moving. And he's going to be here exclusively on the Jim Master Show Live. That is coming up this Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Then on Monday, the one and only, another Hollywood legend, comedian Judy Tenuta is here. She's all excited. She's going to be here on the Jim Master Show Live, coming up on Monday. That is Monday. We're very much looking forward to that. 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, live from Hollywood. She's been on all the shows. She's been in plays and all kinds of stand-up comedy and on all of the talk shows and HBO and you name it. She's been a part of it. She is truly a comedic legend, Judy Tenuta, and she's going to be here on Monday on the show. And then, of course, next week, we've got a whole bevy of extraordinary acts and performers and conversationalists and you and I as well. And then on Wednesday, St. Patrick's Day, we've got a very special Irish themed episode of the Jim Master Show Live. That's right. That is next Wednesday, which is March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. We will be here for a very special episode. We're also going to have the traditional Irish dinner with us as well. So maybe you want to dine with us on St. Patrick's Day in the evening. We'll be here at our regular time, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on St. Patrick's Day. You can find us at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Sometimes we do bonus episodes earlier in the day if a guest is overseas. The Jim Master Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show Series is here to entertain, inform, educate, and have a good time with all of you. And Merlin is just happy that her internet held out tonight. Fantastic. National Meatball Day today, and we had chicken with tomato soup and salad. We'll have to have the meatballs tomorrow. Kathleen Walker says, I love seeing all the photos from all your guests. Thank you. There's a lot of work behind the scenes to put it all together, the video and all the photos and get everything together, but we enjoy doing that. And now I'm craving meatballs since Christine Clifton mentioned National Meatball Day. I love meatballs and spaghetti and all that fun stuff. Great video clip. I'll catch up tonight what I missed of tonight's show. Yes, Linda, it's National Meatball Day. Good night, all. Lovely hugs, and Jim and lovely friends. And Christine, we're going to be reaching out to John, who you had recommended as a guest, Christine, which I thank you very, very much for. We're going to, we finally got up to the list where we're going to reach out to John this week. And hopefully, I won't say his last name because I want it to be you and I who know who it is, but I don't want to say his last name yet because I want it to be a surprise for all of our wonderful viewers and our lovely viewers. So Christine will be reaching out to John this week. And if you talk to him, let him know to expect an email from the Jim Master Show Live. So Lily is here. Hey, Lily. Good to have you with us. Remember, Lily was a show. Was a show. She was a show, all right. She was a great show, a great episode, and a great guest and a dear friend watching here on the Jim Master Show Live. Good to see you. And yes, St. Patrick's Day. We'll be celebrating together on St. Patrick's Day. Hope you're doing well, Lily. All right, gang, we're going to get ready to sign off. Busy day tomorrow. Amazing guest tomorrow, Ned Massey. He's going to sing live. He's going to perform live and so much more. He's really a great guy and a phenomenal performer and entertainer. Don't forget to smile and share their smiles because that's the best contagion there is. Don't forget to share the levity, as we always say. Again, that was a happy accident that happened when I said love and levity together too fast. And all of a sudden, out came the word levity. And of course, find your Zen place. Mine is the ocean. But of course, the number one Zen place is with loving family and friends. And take time for yourself, too. Take time to breathe and explore who you are. And if the ocean is the place or the forest or, just with a good book or good music or a cup of coffee, take time. I think one thing that we've all learned in the last year is we got to take time. As fast as the world spins, we got to take time for one another, too. We got to take time for ourselves and for one another. Of course, I love my work. Another Zen place is my work in television and radio and stage, on air and behind the scenes and on camera, all these years doing lots of different TV shows, radio shows and productions and performances and so much more. So that is another thing that I love to do. And of course, another is to share with you to relax. We do this at the end of every show. If you're just joining us for the first time, don't forget, we would love it if you subscribe to our YouTube channel and share the channel. Don't forget to click the notification bell so you don't miss any of our content. We just in the channel also, in addition to this episode of the Jim Master Show Live, we just shared a brand new Masters Mantras It's part of our inspirational visual and verbal series, inspiring quick videos. This one is 60 seconds of peaceful ocean calm, actually, that we captured just yesterday when we were along the coast and the sun was setting, and it was just picturesque, peaceful, and quiet. And we captured it and we shared it in one of our Masters mantras. That's an ongoing series that we do also here on the Gym Masters TV channel on YouTube. So subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell so you don't miss any of the Masters Mantra series or the Gym Masters Show live entertainment lifestyle talk show series or any of the other great content. Whew. That is a mouthful and I ad-libbed it all. Don't forget to relax, gang. Don't forget to love one another. Don't forget to love yourself. Breathe from the diaphragm and love yourself, not in an egotistical, narcissistic way. Love yourself in a way that reminds you that you matter and that you're important, that you're welcome to the table. And here on the Gym Master Show Live, everybody, we say it all the time, everybody is welcome to join us every night. Have a good time. Share the links, share, the posts, comment, participate. For those of you who watch our series, but you never post, but you watch and you enjoy it, thank you very much as well. I know sometimes you see the names of the folks, the lovely viewers who love to participate and they love to comment and talk to each other and share their levity on the show as well. And we love them. And for those of you and many of you who just watch while we're live and you don't comment, we love that too. You're welcome to continue to watch and enjoy. Those of you who watch us after, when it's archived on a YouTube channel, enjoy it as well. And we oftentimes will share the YouTube link on our Facebook page as well, Gym Masters TV. So for those who follow on Facebook at Gym Masters TV, Instagram at Gym Masters TV, Twitter at Gym Masters TV, we share the links and the promotion for the Gym Master Show Live on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook as well. But the broadcasts are here on YouTube live. So those who watch later in the archives, we're so happy that you're watching. We see all the views. It's quite amazing. The show just continues to grow by leaps and bounds. And it's happening organically. We're not rushing anything. We're not, having to rush. We're just enjoying it. And it's happening authentically and organically. And that's a beautiful way to do it. So it's a blast doing these shows and great guests continue to come this week. Love it, love it, love it. So this is really the best. And good night, all. Hugs. Kathleen, you too. We appreciate that. And everybody's saying good night to everybody. Lily, you have a good night. Kathleen, you have a good night as well. It's always a pleasure to have all of you here. And again, this was a blast to have all of you. And Maureen says, good night, my lovely family. May your dreams be sweet. You too, Maureen. And Christine Clifton says, thanks, Jim. Let them know you'll reach out. Yes, I'm going to reach out to John as a guest soon. We're booked with guests all the way, believe it or not, into almost the end of May, which is unbelievable. Thank you very much. Yes, you're watching Catherine Grayson and thought of the conversation you had with her granddaughter. Wasn't that a great show as well? Yeah, good memory, Merlin. You have a good night as well. Gang, we're going to wrap up. It's a pleasure having all of you here. And I know you guys love the Waltons. We actually have another guest coming up on the 20th who starred in the Waltons as well. I know you loved when Cammie Cutler was here. A lot of people enjoyed that. And all the guests. And even when it's just us, when we just do a host chat and levity conversation. St. Patrick's Day, next Wednesday, we're going to do a really fun show. We're going to have a traditional Irish dinner. We're going to have some surprises for you as well. So join us on St. Patrick's Day. I know a lot of people, we're all busy on St. Patrick's Day. Big day, busy day. But if you can join us even for a bit, we'll be here. Not sure how long the show will go, but we will at least chime in and check in with all of you and send you some Irish St. Patrick's Day levity on St. Patrick's Day. So gang, we're going to wrap up. And we thank you for your time. We thank once again our extraordinary guest, the delightful Angelica Page, for joining us here on the Gym Master Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series. You have a good day, good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever time it may be when you're watching this broadcast live or on demand. We love and appreciate all of you. Love your shirt too. Looking good, Jim. Thank you very much, Mona. I appreciate that. We used the spice rub tonight with some of on the chicken. that you sent from Louisiana. It was delicious. We thank you for that. All right, gang. You have a good night. Love you all. You take care. Your host, Jim Masters, thanking you for your time this time. Till next time, back 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, right here on the Jim Masters Show Live. We love you all. Keep spreading the word. Keep telling everybody. Share the YouTube links. Comment on the pages. We'll see you on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter as well. We love you having you here. It's really a blessing. Good night, Mr. Loveday. Good night to you, Linda, in St. Augustine, Florida. You be well, gang. We'll see you tomorrow. Good night.